Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is episode 79 of our Star Wars Unlimited podcast. And tonight we've got a jam-packed lineup. And yes, folks, I know I say this every week, but we really do have a jam-packed lineup tonight. Tonight we're going to be covering a little bit of the Spanish regional that happened this weekend. They did like a full 3-day event. Wish I could have gone, where they did the first day was not a non-constructed, and they did like a sealed environment, and then the second day and third day they did one of the larger premier tournaments that they had. So we're going to cover some of the results, and that'll probably be the last of the competitive stuff we talk about for the most part for the rest of this season. We only have 3 more weeks until the new set starts coming out, so we're going to be doing some prep work. We're going to also be talking about some sealed / draft etiquette and some different kind of like format structures and how we can have help you do better for the pre-release environment and for next season's non-limited environment. And we're also going to talk tonight about a new casual format that somebody posted online. I tweaked it a little bit. We ran it a little bit at locals. I got really angry, decided to tweak it again, and now we got a new format that we're going to try out. And I wanted to kind of demo it tonight to talk a little bit about it, because I think like it's kind of, we go through this like cycle, and our cycle is this every 4 months. Usually the first month is figuring out new lists, the beginning to store champs. Then we have PQs for about a month and a half mixed in with sectionals and regionals, and everybody's so focused on that. And then we have like a dry spell of like 3 to 4 weeks. And so like I wanted to like find different ways at my locals that like you don't always have to draft, or you don't always have to play sealed, even though those are fun formats. So I started a collection, and I'm working on building like a bunch of different documents for like kind of fun interactive things that people can do at their locals in between sets to help continue to draw people back to the game. With that, we also have spoilers because they got 2 new leaders that we're definitely going to be covering, and I'm super excited to talk about those leaders. With that being said, joining me tonight on mic is JJ. The Giants still suck, worse than the Lions. How are you tonight, sir?
I don't know, man. We'll see how they do against Kansas City. They're playing right now. So, I mean, if they lose, then the Giants are officially better. And I got to say, Cam Scatterboo is like a younger version of you. I mean, the way he throws himself forward and then rips his shirt off during an interview is pure you, man.
Why is it me? I don't rip I've never once ripped my shirt off. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but beyond that, yeah, it's been a little bit, so apologize for everybody who haven't seen me in a little bit between work, travel, and then me having COVID. Been knocked out of the game for a little bit, but it's been far too long since I've been on, so I'm super excited for tonight. And for those who know us from X-Wing, Tanner and myself have been paired up for this next week, so we will have a showdown on stream somewhere, somehow. And it's going to be great.
There will be no showdown on stream. I do not consent to that.
You have no choice, damn it. Even if it's Discord.
I do have a choice. All right. Also joining us tonight is Sam, the young one. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm very good. I'm very excited for this episode, as there's one card I know me and you are going to get into a heated debate about, and that's going to be very fun. And this new format that we're also going to get into a heated debate about, which is also going to be very fun, because I'm the reason that you hated it at locals that one time. But balling.
Yeah, that's fine. I fixed it a little bit so that way we won't have that same issue, I think, going into next time. So
yeah, I noticed.
But anyway, JJ, welcome back. It's good to have you back on the show again. Haven't seen you in quite a while. I had some people ask, make sure you were doing okay. My wife was like, he got COVID. How did you get COVID? I was like, well, that's what happens when you travel all the time. And then I got the lecture about how I'm not supposed to travel out of state to go to all these conventions. And I regretted even mentioning it at that point. But
so it's my fault you didn't go to Chicago. Yes, gotcha.
No, it's not. I don't like. I was not going to grind, and now I don't know. Like after this week, once they update points, so I've won a PQ and I topped a second one. If I hadn't conceded, I would have been at 200 points, right? And I think that was the thing is like I wasn't going to points chase, and like I don't really like points chasing, but I do like free shit. And I was in the top 32 originally, and then after last weekend I dropped down to 45th, and it's not anything I did specifically outside. I'm not getting any points because I'm not really going to any big tournaments. And we talked about that a while. And I'll be honest, like I don't think justifying me going to Philadelphia or me going to Oregon and spending $500-600 justifies like getting the points needed to stay in the top 32 to get the free trip. I'm spending $500 or $600 that I could just be spending on Vegas. So I'm probably not points chasing that hard, but I will say I do like the limited environment, even though this week I got my ass handed to me in our chaos draft. I did not do well at all for any way, shape, or form. But yeah, we other than that, like I do miss going to live tournaments quite a bit. Like I will say that it's a little harder, but the travel just sucks. It's just so much travel. Just I don't like it. And it is going to be coming winter soon, so it's going to be harder to travel, I think, than it was before. But I'm excited to talk a little bit about Spain. Are you guys ready? Let's hit Spain up first. I think that's kind of the big one. We might be doing a recap kind of on the set for limited, and we'll be covering some of those limited like tournaments. But the problem is they don't have deck lists. So like I don't know how to get the deck list from all that and help like look at the decisions people made. So that's it's a little bit harder, I think, to analyze those. But at some point, I think we might want to look back at that and kind of look at the season and see how it all shaped out. But if you didn't know, Talzin won again. Talzin's back. So Talzin lost 3 cards, still won. But before we get into the Spain thing, we could kind of see here there was a couple of more limited environments. This Hong Kong one with 14 people was won by I think it was a Pelp that won that. Oh, is an Iden. An Iden won that. And then obviously the Spain one was run by a Talzin. Almost 700 people participated in that one. So that's like almost world's quality, like world's level for that. And then, we had a Han Data Vault win. So there you go, Sam. You can feel a little justified in your Han Data Vault decision there.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to know like how we can afford to go to Australia because look, they had a Han Fort Tarkentown win. Then we see a Krennic ECL base one. Tarkin or Cad Bane Tarkentown, another Pelp yellow. That was the one we were going to go to. So maybe you should be happy you didn't go because there would have been enough Pelp yellow of us there to give you.
I like Pelp yellow. That's a good matchup for Data Vault, not 30 health.
Well, you say that. And then we had Akira. Texas had Akira. Data Vault take it down. So if we kind of look at the top here, we also see JJ. What is that leader that made it into the top 8 twice that you really love?
My favorite Thrawn.
Yes. We are going to cover one of those Thrawn lists tonight.
So I cannot wait to get to that Thrawn list, man. It's gonna be great.
It's all for you. I specifically put it in the show notes for tonight, just because you were joining us. So this obviously Talzin won, followed by Sip and Benton, who are on the exact same Han 2 ECL lists, a Yoda Green Force list. So, Sam, you must be onto something. We'll have to see how close it is to yours. Kind of excited to go through that list as well. I think we went through one of those a couple weeks ago and talked a little bit about whether that's going to be a viable list or not. And then they had 2 Thrawn Data Vaults, 1 Han 2 Blue, and a Cad Bane Tarkentown that did it. So, thoughts? Anything for almost 700 person tournament? The top 8 feels pretty diverse, even though we had a couple of duplicates in there. Sad to not see.
Still good.
Yeah, Han 2 still good. Who'd have known, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it turns out there's not too many Hans in the top 8.
There's a notable absence of Han 1 in the top 8. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But weren't they saying like how many of them made the day, or how many of them there were day 1 that didn't come over? There was like a significant percentage. I just don't remember what it was.
Well, good news, Sam. Great segue. We have some of those numbers.
Statistics, baby.
Cad Bane was the top represented deck in the tournament, followed by Boba Data Vault, followed by Sabine. Then we had Han Solo Blue, Agar Saxon Blue, Yoda Green, and then Pelp Vader, Kira, and at the very bottom, Han Solo, Echo Base. So I think I don't know if they're going to combine, if they combine the Han Solo ones, green and Data Vault. I kind of feel statistic wise we should just be doing that, because they are a very similar deck for the most part. And then there's like those couple of variants, whether you want to be like I'm going to build a monster variant or I want to spam units variant. But
Yeah.
like logically they're the same, and I believe Han 1 would have a higher representation. But they were 3% of the meta. And if we look at what day 2 landed, day 2 shows that Han Solo actually had 4, so they actually overperformed in their conversion to day 2. Cad Bane, looks like Cad Bane was even. We had Han Solo ECL, which was not even listed up here, right? Make an appearance. So that's obviously kind of the outlier deck that did really, really well. Sabine showed up. Han Solo Command. See, there you go. See, you have 2 Han Solos. I don't know why they're separated, but like
7 altogether.
They converted very high compared to what they originally like had told us, right? So we don't know how many total because I don't have these statistics. I just have whatever screenshots Fan City gave us. But as you can see, Yoda did really well. Boba Data Vault did not convert very well. Thrawn converted extremely well, and so did Iden compared to what we were seeing up at the top there. Very sad. Didn't see an ECR or GAR conversion. Thought that was a little odd. You might be good with that, but I like seeing GAR in the meta up there. What do you think about that? And otherwise, we can move on to lists. Sam, what are your thoughts?
I think that this is a good diverse meta. I also want to note that this is the European meta. This isn't what we usually see. Cad Bane being the top represented leader in any place is not what we usually see and not what you should expect. But maybe that's what we're going into. But the European meta has always been drastically different, whether that's been ahead of our time or way behind, depending on what set we're in and what event we're at. But I don't know. Han 2's still good.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see Thrawn come in with the new cards that we've been getting spoilers for. There's been so many updates I've been doing for all my various Thrawn decks, and it's a leader that I really enjoy, and it's good to see a good variety of different types of lists out there so far for this meta. So it's exciting to see that the game is still healthy going into the new set here. And now we're going to have set 6 coming out, and it's still doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get into those top lists. Let's definitely look at this Mother Talzin list. A little surprised we didn't see Simp and Bento or Beto on that, right? Because they were like part of the original ones that kind of like were pioneering this specific style list. But it's interesting to see how much it did not evolve and how much it did evolve. Like there's a couple of cards in there I thought were crazy. So Sam, why don't you go ahead? Let's cover what is the number 1 list here tonight.
Yeah, so it's Mother Talzin Strangled Cliffs, just a red force base. We have 2 Owen Lars, 3 Force Lightnings, 2 Hotshot Blasters, 3 Acolyte of the Beyond, 3 Director Krennics, 3 Karis, 2 Night Sister Warrior, 3 Secretive Sage, 3 General Grievous units, 3 Grand Inquisitor legendaries, 3 No Disintegrations, 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 2 Fallen Lightsabers, 2 Cham Syndulas, 3 Darth Tyrannus, 1 Lon Pike, 3 Talzin's Assassin, 2 Anakins, 2 The Suns, 2 Devastators. And then in the side, we have 1 Owen, 2 Grenade Strikes, 2 Disabling Fang Fighters, 1 Cham, 2 Kiadi Mundis, the Red Heroism, 1 Anakin, and 1 Devastator. So I see what all of these are trying to do. It does a lot of what the Galactic Championship list did well, and then it does a few things better. Like I greatly like the General Grievous units, just because you're not trying to put lightsabers on them. You're just trying to have a 3/4 for 4, which can just be good. You have No Disintegrations is one card that I've been championing since it came out last set, because there's so many different ping leaders, reduce leaders, whatever. It doesn't matter. You get the 1 damage and no matter what. On a Crate Dragon, it's 3 cost removal. One Long Pike is a little interesting, especially with none others in the side. That's your only smuggle card, except for Hot Shots, which you're not really trying to smuggle. That looks good. And yeah, overall, it's just a really solid list. I just think the reason why we're not seeing as much Talzin nowadays is it might be a difference in skill between the different lists. It's not a list that just anyone can pick up and do the right things with at the right places. Like, I watched the finals match and a lot of the top 8 matches where this guy was playing, and you could definitely tell that I would not do on Talzin without like knowing the lines and playing this specific version of this deck forever to do these certain things, and that you're not really smuggling Hotshot Blaster. You're keeping it in your hand unless that you're going to just immediately win the game with that action economy, or you're forced into doing that, or using the Sun is just a great card, or like all these various things, like the reason why he has Cham's main board and the reasons why he has Kiatis in the side and all of that. So very great list, very great showing, and he was a very, very skilled player. So looked all good.
Yeah, I think one of the notable differences here is they moved away from like pillage in the sideboard, right? And they moved Fangs to the sideboard. I was like, which I thought was a little odd because we like this list is very must be very aggressive in his gameplay because you don't have a space presence until you hit Devastator, and that's crazy to me. But they're running Grievous. I insanely love the fact that they're running Grievous. Like,
yeah,
it's great. Like, I own 6 of those stupid cards, and like I'm very happy to see Grievous in this list. And I agree with you, like that no disintegration, right? Like that's a kind of a neat call for Talzin because you almost always have the Force, right? And then you have the ability to, use that and then kill the unit, and it only costs you 3. So it's like you almost have 2 power of the dark sides as long as you have the Force. True. Yeah, and I think your turn 1 plays have to be the Secret of Sage and the Iniquity of whatever, with the Acolyte of whatever his name is.
Acolyte of the Beyond.
Thank you. Yes, because those almost always just get you the Force turn 1, unless you're playing against a control deck. Then I don't tell you. So, yeah, I like it. I will say I do not like Hotshot Blaster still. I'm not sold on that. So that's just me.
I think it's a good addition for what it's trying to do. Just a 1 cost +2/+0 and just swing. Like, it's not a great buff. It's no surprise strike, but
in the finals he played it for 5 from row. So just so you know, like he did that, yeah. And I was like, all right, I guess. Yeah. I just don't like that, but that's fine. I guess I understand it a little bit. I do also think the Chams are a good call, right? Like saying, hey, if I'm going to play in a control meta that ramps, this just lets me to ramp back. And it is a 5/4 unit. I do not like it's not force though, right? So it does not activate your Force. So that's a little concerning, but I don't know. Yeah. The Long Pike, I don't understand it. So I don't know if I would play that Long Pike in this. I think I would not play that. I probably would either have a 3rd Anakin, or I would have either the 3rd Cham or something. I don't know.
Well, it's just for when your hand becomes empty and you need that one-off. Oh, there's that one smuggle card that I might have. But I mean, what were you just talking about a second ago? The Chams. I mean, that goes well in so many different things. We're not in the Force. We have to worry about General's Blade, Fallen Lightsaber, and whatever upgrades right now meta. We're kind of drifting more into the, now we have to worry about Han 1. Now we have to worry about Blue-Green Villainy a lot more again. Like, all of these different things that were kind of kept down by Force Throw are now pushing their way back up. So, beautiful.
I mean, and it's only 1 copy, so it's JJ approved, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna go. You go back on mute. Hold on. Let's put him back on mute. JJ approved. All right. Well, let's move on to the next list here. We have the Han 2 ECL. This was the 2nd and 3rd place. This is, I think this is what JJ. What was his name? Paul Heaver. Paul Heaver was super high on this Han 2 ECL. This is what he was taking all over the place. And this is kind of interesting. There is some differences here that we've seen. This is I want to run Sabine, but I'm going to play damaged units that you aren't going to be able to kill right away. So I kind of like this. JJ, why don't you tell us? Why don't you go over what this list is?
Yeah, definitely. This is a great update to Han ECL. So we start off here with 3 copies of R2D2, 3 Bounty Hunters Quarries, only 1 Hotshot Blaster, 3 Battlefield Marines, 3 copies of Gungi, 1 copy of Arm to the Teeth, 3 copies of Blue Leader, 3 Cassian Andors, 1 Disabled Fang Fighter, 3 Gogus, 3 copies of the new Obi-Wan, 3 Sabine's Masterpieces, 3 General's Blades, 3 Champs and Doulas, 3 copies of Poe Dameron, 1 IG-11, 3 Poe Damerons, the set 2 copies of the Gorilla Attack Pod, 3 Wreckers, and 2 Kelleran Becks for that round off the list there. Then in the sideboard, we got a 3rd copy of Kelleran. We have 1 copy of the MC-80 Assault Frigate. We have the 2nd copy of IG-11, 3 Sundari Protectors, 2 more Fang Fighters, and then 2 of the Scanning Officers to round off the sideboard there. So yeah, definitely an interesting update for this particular list. Obviously, the one-offs on there are situational. The other one that you're probably going to put into the into your board is going to be the Hotshot Blaster and Arm to the Teeth, which have Smuggle, which you can use later on for other stuff. The Bounty Hunter's Quarry definitely is interesting to end up grabbing more units that you need to keep the pace on it, because one of the things that happens with Han is if you end up playing a lot of cheap units early, your hand kind of gets a little light. So having that Bounty Hunter's Quarry does allow you to get a little more cards into your hand. And since you are going to have damaged units, having Grogu there to heal those units definitely helps out a lot. And you have a lot of great units like Blue Leader being to deploy it if you pay that additional cost, which you're getting a discount on anyway using Han's ability. You're deploying it with 2 experience and comes in as a ground unit, and then being able to also play like Poe Dameron to create an X-Wing token and then put Poe as a pilot on there just gives you a lot of great economy on here. So it's a great update to it as well. I do like the addition of Jedi's Blade, or General's Blade rather, just a nice little add-on to make some of these big units hit even harder. And if your opponent can keep up with your units that are there, you're gonna wipe out the enemy pretty quick. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room here, right? There's no crate dragons. There's no like that's your big supposed to be your big top end. A lot of Han 2 greens were just racing to get to crate dragons at one point, but now it kind of looks like they're too much of a liability, right? Like if they would have played that in the match with the Talzin, they just notice integrations, they power, they take the 3 damage, they keep trucking on, you've taken your whole turn. Your top end in this is Kelleran, and that is your only 7 cost. Then you go Wrecker, Gorilla Attack Pod, which they're not even running 3 of each of those. It's just Wrecker 3 and then 2 Gorillas. They're running a weird one-off IG-11, which I see the mindset for it there, but I don't think I'm on board with it. And then another one in the side, and having a Kelleran in the side, where I'm going to ask you guys, where is a matchup where you don't think you want a Kelleran? Because even against control, against power, you're taking that other unit, so you're not going to get powered. You Palpatine, maybe? But I don't know.
No, you always, yeah. I'll say it is a little weird to not have that in there and have that IG in there instead, right? Like that feels weird to me. But I think, your goal with this list, right, is to be able to lace, because you could play turn 1, you could play a Gungi and an R2D2, right? So you can insulate yourself from control with this list extremely easily. I don't think you have to worry about that. I think the bigger question is, yes, why do I not have that 3rd Kelleran in there? Where is my home ones in the side, right? Like this list, my belief in how they must be running this list is they want to play 2 units a turn and just race. Like it's not there for them to actually like take out, because if you watch the Talzin match, the Talzin match goes by very quickly, because if you can't win by the time you hit that Kelleran, or you're not almost winning, anything that has top end just beats you. It's just, you just lose. But it's this, they're using this list similar-ish to how you would run in Sabine list, I believe. That's my belief, is what they're doing with it. And I've seen like some really good, like you could take, like, for example, that Blue Leader, right? You could play Blue Leader for 4 and then next turn smuggle out Arm to the Teeth, and now that thing hits for 7, right? Like, what is anybody going to do against that? Like, and then they could still play another unit. And I'm a little surprised we don't have Cobb Vanth in here, but I guess there's probably not a lot of room for Cobb Vanth in it. But Cobb Vanth would let them also pull their low end units. I don't know. It's different. I will tell you that it is like a Hantu Sabine version. That's what this feels like. So
yeah,
but I would agree with you. I would 100% run 3 Kellerins. So that's just me.
yeah.
I would run the 3 Kellerins. I would also probably have a one-off tech in this list. But that's just me.
We'll see. I would have 2 crates altogether, maybe 1 main board and then 1 in the side instead of these IGs, because what capture units are we really worrying about right now other than the Cad Bane unit? But
well, Vader, if Vader's a big thing,
sure, but that's 3 cost or less.
Yeah, so they're not capturing. You're right, they're not capturing IG. But
so that's the only unit, unless you're running Take Captive the card, then you're not really worried about capture in this meta right now. So just having a 6/5 that you bring out on 4 to be a 6/3, Tarkentown range, especially with the Cad Bane meta they went into, doesn't seem great. I would have some Crate Dragons in here, but I guess we do need to at some point have a discussion on what cards that we used to see a lot, like Crate Dragon, are now kind of getting replaced this set versus what's going to be coming in and taking its place and stuff like that.
Sure. I don't think things are going to take Crate Dragon's place. I think this list doesn't want to play late end game stuff. I think this list wants to be Sabine and finish early, and the way they're doing it is by playing multiple units a turn.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also the Talzins were running crates for a while. There's a lot of lists that we have seen that should be in red that just aren't. So
I think the difference is in this Talzin list right here. If you go look at it, the crates don't do as much as some of these other ships do, right? Because Talzin typically has somewhat of a board. Devastators are just the easy end game to all of that stuff. It's more surprising we don't have planetary bombardments in either of the sides, because I feel like those would just be good additions for control matchups. But I don't know. This list also doesn't have red 5s in it, right? So there's no red 5s in this list. It's just a little weird too to me. We have Sabine's Masterpiece instead. And yeah, they're not running Rebel Assaults, so like I don't know. It's different. It's not my style. Put it that way. All right, Sam, in 4th place, we had a Yoda green Force list. What is this list? Tell us about it.
We have the best leader in the game. We have Yoda from Twilight of the Republic paired
Worst
with
leader in
Jedi
the
Temple.
Yeah, no.
And we have, so on the main board, we have 2 Owens, 2 Confiscates, 2 Battlefield Marines, 2 Lothwolves, 3 Phoenix Squadron A-Wing, 3 Yaddles, 2 Spark of Hope, 3 Blue Leaders, 1 Eager Escort, 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi unit, 2 Village Protectors, 3 Resupply, 2 Churret, 2 Interniate Warriors, or however you say it, 2 Vanquish, 2 Traitorous, 3 Resupply Carrier, 2 Rivals Fall, 2 Kelleran, 3 Lukes, 3 Home Ones, 3 Yoda unit, the big one. And then we have sideboard, we have 2 Salvages, 2 Eager Escorts, 2 the Daughters, 2 Marauders, 1 Kelleran, and 1 Redemption. And I am going to say, what is everybody up to with these 2 Kellerans today? Because it's getting a little weird. And then 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi unit blows my mind in this list, because there's not a world in which you have all of these Force units and you're just going, nah, I don't need one of the best statted 3 costs in the game right now with Sentinel. Yeah. So, I don't know. I really like this list. I think you don't need Vanquish, you need Fell, because the main thing you're vanquishing is either opponent Lukes, crates, and it's all just big stuff. You don't care about their little list with how much healing you can do. So, I don't see the point of Vanquish over Fell, except the slight versatility. Churret's only having 2 of is a crime in a blue-green hero deck, especially with a Force base. Yeah, Resupply Carriers is an amazing choice, and I've been running that in my list just because on 6 cost, it's a free OK you deploy now card, and I like that. And yeah, it just boots you up to all the good stuff that you're going to need next turn to your 8 costs and is resupply with the body. 2 Confiscates and 2 Battlefield Marine, 2 Owen, and 2 Lothwolf is weird to me. Because it feels like you want to open with Battlefield Marine or Lothwolf or just have the 3 Owens in general more than you want these Phoenix Squadron A-Wings. It's good to have a space presence, but what they're doing, it seems a little weird. They have one-off Redemption in the side, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I don't know.
I am. I love that one-off redemption, but that's just me. I would have 2 of those in the side personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running 3 of them in my sideboard in my Yoda list. That's what I mean. I don't like just having a one-off in my sideboard of something, or like the
No.
one-off Eager Escort. Like
I understand the one-off Eager Escort 100%. I think, if you feel you're going into a Vader meta or we'll call it a space heavy meta. It doesn't even have to be a Vader meta. It could be a Poe or anything. Just that one-off Eager Escort allows you to deal with it. It also helps deal, like, I don't know, does this deck lose to Han 1
yes,
green? Right? So like that churn just stops their Falcon. Like you just kill their Falcon and that's probably part of the reason why they have those Phoenix squadrons. Like I will be honest with you, like Concordons were great for a long time, but they feel misaligned now, I guess is the nicest way to put it. They just don't feel like they're that good anymore. Like they could go there, but there's so many different things. So if I put a Phoenix squadron down and you put your Falcon down, either you're not doing damage to my base and killing my Falcon or my Phoenix squadron, and I don't care because I'm Yoda, right? Like I'm more of an end game deck than an early game deck. And so I don't I like, and then you could follow it up if they're silly and they decide to leave their Falcon out with damage on it, then the Igor just kills it. And if they don't play anything, then Yoda just sits there and says, "What do you want to do?" So my
Yoda
guess
thrives on just waiting.
Yeah, my belief, Sam, is that some of this is probably teched against that Han 1 and teched against space presence decks. I will agree though, like I do not understand the 2 only turrets. I would just have 3 turrets. I guess like I actually don't even know if I agree with having to keep. You probably don't need Obi-Wan in this deck, right? Can you just cut Obi-Wan and run 3 turrets and then because you have Village Protector
curve, though? Like let's think about it, because then you'd only have 9 units for curve, and you'd end up playing a 2 cost most of those times.
Okay, and I guess that's fair. I don't like the traitoresses either. Like I don't understand why they have those in there. It seems a little silly to me. Like I get why. Like that's a very Pelp ideology, right? like that's what you would see in Pelp. So I'm a little confused with the traitoresses, and I do agree. Let's just dump Vanquish and just have Stealth Dragon. Just be done with it. It's just easier. But other than that, I think it's a pretty solid list. Are you running salvages in your sideboard too?
Oh, I'm running salvages in every green deck I have right now, though, so I don't think I'm a great example. I just think salvage is too good of a card to pass up in so many different places.
Yeah, because in this deck, what are you using it for? Blue leaders? Is that what it's there for?
Home ones. Whenever they hand hate you, they get your home ones, you bring it out way later. Or if it dies, then you just wait a few turns and you bring out something even bigger than you would have before.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, with blue-green dominating, let's go on to the last deck I wanted to kind of cover tonight. And this is a Thrawn deck. And I will say there is actually 2 different Thrawn decks that were different in the top. We're only going to cover this one. I don't want to cover all of them because it's going to lead to a nuanced discussion of what is the better Thrawn Data Vault deck. And I'm not ready to have that discussion yet. I will have that discussion, I think, shortly here, but I don't know if I'm ready to have that tonight. So, JJ, what is this Thrawn deck and why are you not more excited about this than your Giants losing today?
Well, they won on Thursday, first off. But anyway,
did they?
Yeah, man, we beat the Super Bowl champs on Thursday, man. It was a great game. But anyway, we got Grand Admiral Thrawn here with Data Vault. We got 3 copies of Owen Lars, the most versatile one cost blue card in the game currently. We got 3 Timely Interventions, 3 Director Krennics, 3 Lothwolves, which is an off aspect for this deck here. Got 3 copies of the Night Sister Warriors, 3 Onyx Squadron Brutes, 3 copies of Cobb Vanth, 3 Super Laser Techs, 3 copies of Yoda, also another off aspect. We got 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 3 Resupplies, 3 No Glories, 3 copies of Overwhelming Barrage, 3 copies of Anakin Skywalker Blue, 3 Chimeras, 3 Darth Vaders, 3 copies of Maul, 3 copies of Supreme Leader Snoke, 3 copies of Super Laser Blast, and 3 Avengers. And then on the sideboard, we have 2 copies of the Annihilator, 2 Relentless, 3 copies of the Fleet Interdictor, and then 3 copies of Palpatine's Return for the list there. This one focuses very, very much heavy on control between the No Glories, the Power of the Dark Sides, the Overwhelming Mirages there. And then once it gets to its higher end top, you got such a huge presence between Maul, Vader, Avenger, Snoke, and if it gets out of hand, you got the Super Laser Blast to just wipe the board clean. In the meantime, all your low end stuff helps you provide a lot of bonuses for having one defeated stuff on there. Cobb Vanth especially is super great if you're looking to just pull even more of your low cost units on there. I do understand why they have the Yoda on there. Having that extra draw in your hand when it gets defeated is also really great, and it's a restore option. So you're paying a little bit more for Yoda, but you do get a discount if you have Krennic on the board already. So it kind of offsets a little bit that cost there. And then having the Low Wolf as a Sentinel early, you just have it on the board there. It's not really attacking anybody, but it helps protect your Krennic out there and your Owen Lars and your restore pieces on there. And it just provides that buffer for everybody else. I like this list a lot. It is pretty sweet. This is a version I have not tried out yet, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, I don't. Why is the Loth Wolves just in there because of the Cobb Vanth? Is that the only reason they're in
Yeah,
there?
it is a target for Cobb Vanth. Yeah, definitely.
And then you don't have, because you could play it for free, you don't have to worry about the penalty for it, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay. I get it. Again, this is a very space light deck for the most part. Like, people just, I don't know. There must be too much control or something. I don't know. I don't like that Fleet Interdictor. I'll be honest with you though. Like that Fleet Interdictor in there, in the sideboard, I don't think I like that. And I also 100% would just run Annihilators over Avengers main board. I just and there's no Devastators. Where's my Devastators? Right? Like
Yeah, like for me, since you already have such a huge amount of restore on here, I would absolutely replace those interdictors. I understand that they're a pretty big sentinel from when they come in, but I much prefer running the CR90s since they have restore to, and when they're defeated, you get to use their ability twice to either restore your base or restore units that you have on the board. I think they have much more utility for Thrawn versus the fleet interdictors. So yeah.
I don't know. I do like this deck. I do really want Thrawn to work. And I will probably be building a Thrawn set for locals just to play because I really like the showcase for it. And I like Thrawn.
Yeah, I love the show too. It is so nice, man.
Man, you know what we got to do? We got to build a Twin Suns Thrawn deck.
Yes.
So that when I have to play Twin Suns next week, I could just play my double Thrawn deck.
Yes,
Are we doing
absolutely.
I think we might be doing. I thought we're not doing it this week because this week I'm not here locals this week. But yeah, I'm telling you, my daughter's birthday is Wednesday, so I will not be around for locals this week. But yeah, I don't know. I like Thrawn a lot. I just was not having a lot of success with it, personally, and like Iden just seems better as a unit, but maybe not. So. Well, all right. Well, that wraps up our discussion for Spain. That's like I said, that's kind of going to be the end of our meta stuff for Spain. It seems like we're getting to the point where there's not much new that we're going to probably see innovated because everybody will be prepping for the next set. I just want to point out as a last minute thing that the Giants are 2-4 and Detroit is 4-1. So even if they do lose to the Chiefs today, they are still 4-2. And so when JJ tries to compare the two together, they're uncomparable. Detroit is still hands down doing a million times better than the Giants ever will this season. So,
oh my God, let the poor man dream.
no. All right. Well, let's move on. I want to do our new casual format next. I think that seems kind of fun, right? You know, I will not take credit for naming the format. Somebody named it. The garbage will do. So I'm just stole that. And if they ever want to come forward and tell me who it is, I will 100% go back and give them credit on the show for it. But let's talk a little bit about the new casual format, the garbage will do. So this kind of came out our original variation of this, before we even knew like anybody else was doing this, was our original variation. We were on our way home, and it was me and Sam and then one of my other buddies from local, and we were talking about, you know, like different formats, like how do we bring more people back into locals? And it seems like we don't need to play super sweaty because we're not prepping for anything right now. So like, how can we have more fun? And one of the locals is like, well, why don't you build a deck and we'll build decks and give them to each other. And like, we'll put numbers on them and roll dice, and whatever number you get as a deck, you get to play. And so I kind of was like, all right, well, we don't want any popular leaders, so you can't bring like a meta deck and go from there, which a couple of people did not do. But so I wanted to, like, I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. So we did that format. It was not as fun as I thought it would be, especially because all of us have different deck building strengths, I think. And all of us have different deck building styles, right? Like, so when I build a deck, I build something based on how I would play, which is a little bit more control. So like, even if I build an aggro deck or a mid-range deck, it's going to be a little bit more control-y than, let's say, what Sam plays. Well, I guess Sam kind of plays control too. So then what Mike plays. Mike plays more mid-range aggro, that type of a thing. He's not really big into the heavier control. And that's kind of like what Sam and I play, right? Like, even though Sam plays the worst control leader in the game, Yoda. But so anyway, we had a little bit of a mismatch in like decks. You know, one of the decks that was brought was like an OBECL, which we had topped. Another guy brought a Asajj for Tarkin Town, which, while maybe has not won anything, has 100% topped more than one time, and is a very good deck if you know what you're playing. The other issue we ran into with that format was if you got one of the decks that you had tested against, like, you knew how to play it. So it didn't work out very well for those of us. Like, I had never played a Cal Kestis deck before, right? And nobody had played. I brought Qui-Gon, and nobody had played Qui-Gon but me, and so that presented a little bit of a challenge. So then Sam found this format from somebody else, and I was like, okay, well, why don't we take what format we did and this format and just kind of merge them together, and then tell people about it. So I don't think this will be a super long segment, but what I wanted to do is highlight the fact of what our goal is, right, for this format. So the goal is obviously to bring a more casual experience, bring in players that maybe normally wouldn't come to locals because they're like, you're just going to run a sweaty deck. I don't want to play against your Palpatine deck for the 70,000th time, Tanner. You know, and I was like, okay, well, let's create a format that allows you to play Trench, because Trench isn't popular. And still get
not
to play
playing
control.
you if you bring Trench to this event. I will literally up and go back to my dorm.
Well, that's good. Then I'll immediately win $7. So, but anyway, what we wanted to do is create a casual play mode for people to play a different additional experience with leaders you normally wouldn't play, right? So kind of the premise of this is essentially, I believe locals can become stale between the last month. A lot of times we find it drops off. If you play a little bit more sweaty, a little bit more competitive, it kind of drops off. People aren't into that. And what I'm saying is, I think this game is fun enough. We should always be playing. Let's find new formats. So the idea behind it is we decided to create a format that would allow everybody a unique opportunity to play underutilized leaders, as well as underutilized cards. So we created a curtailed list of leaders that can be utilized. Your local group can change the rules however you want. Obviously, this is not FFG sanctioned, but you can still count this as weekly play for your store. And then we also decided to kind of try to get rid of some of the more powerful cards that provide that hinders some people's experiences. If you don't have the whole collection, like not everybody has 3 Luke Skywalkers. So this kind of hinders people that don't have a full collection. And so we're limiting the card pool to try to help bring newer players in and let them play on a little bit more playing level. This also brings in a kind of like a mixture of like sealed and like a sealed environment along with the premier style. So here's the rules. Sam, I'll tell you what. I'll let Sam, what are the rules that I have on screen? I'll just make Sam read them off.
All right. You have all constructed FFG rules apply that are not alerted below, as well as all card bans and restrictions are enforced. Number 3, you can only use leaders from the curated list below. These leaders should represent the bottom tier leaders who have not won or topped planet. Okay, all right, I see what you're trying to say here. Who have not won or topped in a planetary qualifier of 40 or more people. Basically, we want leaders that are not played as often. Okay, 4 legendary and rare, or number 4 legendary and rare cards are banned and should not be included in this format. Optional, and we got 2 optional rules here.
Yes.
Okay. Optional rule number 1, you could allow the player to use 1 copy of rares or legendaries if your group has all the playing cards. Optional rule number 2, you could also ban special rarity cards that only come in starter and spotlight cards. Number 5, as the meta changes, check the most recent tournament results to help evaluate your leader selection. So like if Cassian Andor from set 1 wins a PQ, which it's never going to do, then you probably would have to take that one off the list to try to make sure it doesn't just fall into that. And then number 6, have fun.
Yeah. So the idea here is finding a list of leaders, and we will provide a list of leaders here. And JJ's going to be very excited about this list. Like I can already hear JJ like, how do I instill this in my locals? But the idea is like, say I will pick on Sam a little bit, and Sam brought Obi-Wan 3 ECL, which another guy at the damn locals had played a lot, and he's the one that ended up with the deck, and so he just curb stomped everybody because they had Vaders. You had Vaders in there, Anakin's in there, you had Timely's in there. It was a gross deck that, yes, in a premier format doesn't always do the best, but it did have like enough results in a high enough qualifier that it made it unfun to play other decks against it.
Yeah, when you yelled at me and said I'm never playing this format with you again, I kind of got the sense that you weren't enjoying it as much.
No,
for some reason,
Yes, and so like I don't. Well, I mean, I will say I probably was a little bit more sour because I don't like losing. That is definitely a Tanner thing. Like, but I don't mind losing if we're all having fun, if we put on a fair level. And I think what happened was we took like out of the 5 players, 2 players that had top PQs, and out of those, 1 player got like an insanely good deck, and another guy that should have top PQs who didn't is getting the other insanely good deck. And so like what I wanted to do is move the decks down in value and then see what happens from there. And I will tell you, I have not built a million decks around this format. The other thing is I noticed that legendary and rare cards were like really good, right? And while for our locals, it probably doesn't matter because the majority of us own enough cards that like we can let people borrow them and they can still play that game. What I felt is if you just are going to be able to play Vader, Overwhelming Barrage, and Anakin, Timely, all these other crazy good cards, you could probably build a deck against any leader and it's going to be really good. And Obi-Wan, in fairness, Obi-Wan was a great example of that. You included like off meta style type cards, right? That don't normally go in a hero deck. And it just works it just works very well. Right. And so like the idea is okay, well, if we had cut some of those cards out of there, would that deck have been as good?
No, not nearly at all.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, so if we cut some of these down, there's going to be very few decks that are going to require you to have these specific legendary cards that work with it. I will say, like, we did have Holdo, and Holdo might suffer a little bit with the resistance because I think there's a couple of resistance legendaries they can't play. But we could, again, your local format can talk through that. So JJ, before we get into the leaders, do you have any questions, any thoughts that you wanted to share?
Nope. Let's go right into the leaders.
I do.
Okay.
I think we should talk on rare bases.
Sure.
Because I think ECL and Tarkentown definitely are bases that probably shouldn't be in the other ones. But if we're looking at bases like Shadow Collective Camp, like where do we draw the line on those? Because you say that rare bases can't be included, but I mean, if someone's trying to run droid manufactory, like, okay, what about those?
So again, that goes down to, you can have optional rule number 1, which allows you to run one card of each rare or legendary. So then if you use that as a formula, you could use whatever rare base you wanted. Sure. And so you would just institute that optional rule 1. I will say again, like we could probably just create like a banned list and just like create our own banned list, but that feels silly to me. If I just say all legendaries and rares are banned, I don't have to worry about that.
Less work.
It's a lot less work, and I don't really feel like I should have to go out and say you can't run ECL. You could make an exception. Do people want to run ECL and Tarkin Town bases? Like, I think when we start talking about some of these lower level leaders, I don't know if those bases are so powerful that without all the other legendary cards, you might just be able to put like a cap on bases and let people run whatever base they want.
Sure. That was my only thing. We can get into them.
All right. So the approved leaders are the bottom tier leaders. I know one of our locals will be very excited because he has a Chewbacca deck that he loves running, and I hate playing against it because it is like Sentinel, 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 and then if I play Control, I just kill everything he plays, and then his Sentinel doesn't matter. But if I don't play Sentinel, then I get really sad because I don't get to do anything to my base because he runs a million low cost cards to put Sentinel on every turn. But essentially, I'll go through Spark. We decided Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, Chewbacca, IG-88, JJ's favorite leader, and Hera Syndulla. Those are all approved leaders. And the reason like we approve those ones is because I don't think Jyn Erso, I don't know. I don't like, she did very well in limited, but she doesn't do anything other than that. And kind of the same like Cassian's mechanic, like he comes out a little too late for his mechanic to be useful, really, right? But if we move to a more limited format, maybe he is more useful. Like if you have a bunch of uncommon and common cards, you want to be able to draw them a little bit more often and have a little bit more consistency, probably, right? Chewbacca is an easy one because Chewbacca, there's so much leader removal now, and the ability to just stop that leader, it becomes really hard to run Chewbacca, and IG-88 can just die to, I don't know, 70, 80 cards in anybody's deck because he has 4 health. And Hera was the questionable one. I will be frank and say Hera, like if you want to build like a crazy spicy deck around Hera, she's probably the one exception that we might have to like look at, you know, whatever. How do you say that word? Disincentivizing. So
yeah, there you
go. All right. What about the shadow leaders? What ones do we have on there, Sam?
All right, so we got Hunter, Dr. Afra, Fennec Shand, Hondo, Naka, Jabba the Hutt, and Finn as the leaders on there. Definitely, I'm kind of questioning Hunter a little bit just because there's been a few more cards that have come out in recent sets here that make Hunter a little bit better. But at the same time, you know, with the limitation on rares also hurts him as well. So I think he's still worthy of the list, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, I will say the limitation on rares is really the bigger thing for him.
Yeah, for sure.
What cards that are legendaries are making Hunter broken?
None. Nothing makes Hunter broken.
Well, then what is making Hunter like maybe not?
I'm thinking some of the clones like Captain Rex or which I think Rex is a rare if I remember correctly.
Special.
What's that?
He's a special rarity like the Twilight of the Republic starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we'd have to, Sam, to answer your question is we'd have to go through the list. I know I built a Hunter deck before at locals and played it, and it's fun. It was an Endless Legions deck, if that helped you any.
It does. It does a lot. All right, never mind. You sold me.
Yeah. Yeah, the Afra, I just can't figure out how to get Afra to work at all, but I'm very excited out of this to like for the Fennec and the Jabba. I love Fennec so much. I think Fennec is so much fun to play. And obviously if I can figure out how to get Jabba to work, I will be static.
Let me guess, it's because you have the showcases for both of them.
No, I actually liked Fennec before. The Jabba is because I have a showcase, but I actually like Fennec as a mechanic. I hate her health. I wish she just had 2 extra. I wish she was like a 3/6,
Sure.
5 cost leader. But like her, I like her mechanic because it adds the ambush to everything. I like that. That's just like ambush is my favorite keyword in this game. Period. So, all right, let's move on to the next set. Sam, what about the Twilight leaders?
So we have Asajj Ventress, Wat Tambor, Nala Se, General Grievous, Newt Gunray, and Padme Amidala. The one thing that jumps out to me about all the leaders you have on here is Wat Tambor is about to be insanely good. So when the next set comes in, we'll have to reevaluate that. But as of right now, Wat Tambor is still that like C tier leader. We're still fine. But I think General Grievous would thrive in a commons, uncommons deck, maybe specials. I think Newt Gunray. No, Newt Gunray still sucks. I think Asajj becomes like an aggro Sabine like style thing. And Nala Se maybe gets taken by one local that just wants to be cool and different, but I don't think she really makes any big impact. But I don't know.
Yeah, so for the local that would like to sell me an LSA showcase, I will happily pick that up from you pretty cheap.
I mean, there's quite a lot of common clones that you could fill out that Nala Se deck pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, you do lose out a little bit because you don't get your wreckers, right? Like, so that's kind of a big thing. Wrecker is like a really hard one not to have in the Nala Se deck. But I like Nala Se a lot. I just think Nala Se is a really cool type of leader. She just never made a splash, and that's fine. And I agree with you. That's kind of why I put the caveat in there. Once the new set comes out, you have to obviously go back and look at this. And you know what? If enough people like this, and this is something we can go back and update this every set if we want. Like I didn't put any set 6 on here at all.
Sure.
The jump to light speed, the only ones, and I guess this kind of speaks to like the jump to light speed set must have been very well done because I only could find 4 leaders that I cared enough about to put on here, and that was Trench, Holdo, Rio, and Lando. And yes, because you can't run Colossus, you cannot run the crazy weird Trench thing, and because I can't have Vigilance, I can't play a control Trench for it, just so you know.
Takedown Fell, Power the Dark Side.
It's not going to work.
Vanquish.
It won't work. I will tell you right now, it will not work without Vigilance. That deck falls apart without Vigilance, period. It just does.
I would love to see that. That actually sounds like the one day I enjoy, like just jumping up and down for joy.
Yes, you'll hate playing against my Trench Green deck, though. Just so you know ahead of time, because Trench Green is a lot better. In a commons thing. But anyway, so I think like jump to late season, I couldn't find anything else. Like I didn't want to put Poe in there because I think Poe just wrecks everything like really bad if you have all uncommon and commons. Like there's just so many things. And I kind of feel like Wedge becomes like insanely good in that format. So I put Lando and Rio and Holdo and Trench because we never see them. So all right. Well, JJ, tell us what the last leaders are from Legends of the Force.
Yeah. So the last one here is going to be Morgan Elsbeth, Rey, Ahsoka Tano, Barriss Offee, Grand Inquisitor, Darth Revan, and Anakin Skywalker. These are definitely units or leaders that don't really do too well, but would definitely be good options here in this format for sure. I would definitely love to see a Darth Revan with like a lot of cheap dark side units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Like this one I felt was a little bit more like originally people weren't saying Rey or Ahsoka, and I do question the Ahsoka choice, but I think like if we're gonna allow Chewbacca, let's allow Ahsoka. Let's see and test kind of the waters for it. I don't know about the Barriss. Like I think Barriss might actually be really good in this format, to be perfectly honest with you, because everything's commons and uncommons, and there's so many events that you can play with her that there is a possibility maybe she shines a little bit brighter than she should. I put Morgan on there just for JJ, just so JJ can somehow make a deck that everybody will hate. And it's not going to work, but I put Morgan on there. So.
I mean, I could put a bunch of one-offs in there and everybody would hate that for sure.
Oh my god. Report that on Melee, baby.
Yeah. Just one tournament. I want you to take down a tournament. I want you to win a PQ, JJ, with every
Morgan,
card being
just-
a one-off card.
Oh man, dude, that would be
Twin Suns like 80 card deck that's just all one-offs.
Oh man.
No, I want it to be 50 cards. Well, let's do the 50 cards. Everything has to be one-offs except for your sideboard. Your sideboard can be multiples. And I want you to win a PQ with that. So next set. There you go. Next set. I will tell you what, I will reimburse your entry if you win a PQ with a deck like that, just so that we can say you'll get on every podcast. Everybody will have you on a podcast, and then people will be like, "Oh, who's that Planning Phase Syndicate podcast?" They'll be like, "It's got the guy that won a PQ with one of everything in his deck."
Gosh, who would be the best unit for that? Like the best leader for that? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. We're gonna keep moving though, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think, like I said, I think this is kind of good. I put a few more Legends leaders on there just because we haven't had a lot of time with Legends, so we don't know how powerful these ones could be in this type of a format. But I do know, like, it is nice. I'm not putting Snoke on here specifically because I know Snoke would just wreck everything. And I'm a little bit questioning Darth Revan. Honestly, I think there is a possibility that maybe he could do some things, but he does lose some of his legendary units that he goes along with. So I don't know. Tell us what you think of the format. Like I said, this is kind of like my how can you make locals exciting format. And if you guys test this out, I have a document link in the chat or in the chat. I have a document link in the show notes that will give you information, and you can take this and you can print it out and do whatever you want with it at your locals. And yeah, just report back to us. Tell us how you think it is. Well, with that being said, our last segment tonight is going to be spoilers, some that we missed. I tried to save the one spoiler I know JJ would want to spoil, but I couldn't do it. You got too sick, and I had to spoil Thrawn last week. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks out, and I'll tell you that Thrawn, I don't care what anybody said. Like, I know, like, one of our locals has been down on a lot of the legendaries. I think that Thrawn legendary is insanely good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you want to know what's anti-control? Playing that Thrawn unit. You could play that damn Thrawn unit, and I have nothing to exhaust, and that Thrawn unit just, like, readies, right? Like, I was like they played it against me, and I was like, oh, crap. And then they threw a blaster on it, and now that Thrawn just swung in for 10 on 10 resources, and I didn't know what to do. So, I did a little bit. I lost that game. There you go. I lost that Deidre game. So, but yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about the spoilers. We had 2 new leaders that came out that are going to deal a little bit with some milling, a little bit with ambushing, and we have some of the other cards that I wanted to cover. So, Sam, I know you've been dying to talk. You got to pronounce her name correctly, though.
I'm actually going to phone a friend and ask JJ how you pronounce this leader, because I've never interacted with this character before seeing this spoiler.
So her name is Sabe.
Sabe? All right, I was way off. So Sabe is our yellow heroism Queen Shadow, and the text box reads, when a friendly unit deals combat damage to a base, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of the defending player's deck and discard one of those cards. With the Naboo trait and the epic action of 5 as a rare leader, you would get a 3/6 Naboo traded raid 1. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, look at the defending player's hand and discard a card from it. If you do that, player draws a card. This is nutty. You're going against blue-green control, and they're either going to draw their Pike Sentinel or their Overwhelming Barrage. I wonder what I'm going to take there. You just start spiking their draws and taking out what you want and giving them what you want to give them. And that just seems so good to me. It's the good of what Thrawn did, of always being able to see the top card of their deck and knowing what to play around, plus being able to manipulate what those cards are and being able to do that for no added cost. And then when she's out, you're just shredding the stuff you don't want to see out of their hand. Sure, they get a draw out of it, but that's the same reason why Bazine is good, is you take what you want to take, they draw a card, you don't care about that problem anymore. So
you hope they just can't. You hope they can't top deck something good.
True.
But with her, you could kind of control it a little bit more, right? Like on her flip turn at least, because you can use her to do it. Now I will say it has to do combat damage to the base. So I do think that this leader is going to struggle against Sentinel heavy decks, and maybe control players move back to like, because okay, in your example, am I going to rip the overwhelming barrage or am I going to rip the Pike Sentinel? Well, if I put a Pike Sentinel down, you're no longer doing combat damage to my base and you can no longer use her ability. So you're going to have to like think about those type of things. Like, yes, you got my overwhelming barrage out of the way. But you did not get your Sentinel, which means next turn you're not going to be able to do that. And it's kind of the same with her. She does not have Saboteur on her. Now, there is cards you can give her to make her Saboteur. There is cards you can play that will make your unit Saboteur. You can also play Saboteur units as well, right? But traditionally, until you hit that higher end range, they're not the best units. Now we've had this debate. JJ and I are on the team breaking in over Surprise Strike most of the time. That's just JJ and that's just been our thing. Like I've really toted that card really well. I've played that in a lot of my decks over Surprise Strike. And people don't do that very often because Surprise Strike has that extra reach you are not getting with breaking in. But with her, that's probably going to change. Like, we're going to have to take what we're going to get for Saboteur and look at it from there to kind of see what happens. Also, we're going to have to look at how big is our Sentinel pool now, right? Like, is this just going to force people to run more Sentinels? And I don't know if they do, if that makes her good, right? And I think that's going to be like the biggest issue. I do not think in limited she's going to be very good. I think because a lot of people in limited tend to run Sentinels. That's like a thing. But I do think there is something to her. I do think people have been playing her because I've ran into her. Will tell you that out of 7 games, my Deidre, see, I said it right. My Deidre control deck has beat her 6 of those times, by the way. And that's with her milling cards as a control player. So I don't know. Like, I think the hype should be high on her, but I also want to say we should be a little bit cautious because I think there's some things that we're not thinking of that could affect this. And I think one of those is going to be, can you just run a Sentinel heavy decks against her? And is she just going to fizzle out?
Sure. I mean, that's a great argument. Those are things that you have to think about. You have to tech for now. I made a list that's all just the red cost 1/1 upgrade, give Saboteur, the Ascension Cable, if something, whether it's an event or an upgrade, isn't giving her or another unit Saboteur, it has Saboteur already. Like, there's not a world in which you're almost ever missing that, and the only reason you're attacking into units is if you need to try and balance out, but you're racing and you're winning because you're able to take the units that, like Poe Dameron or Wrecker from Sabine, or you're taking my Falcons and Han, or my resupplies, or my Kellerins or Hans. Like, I've been just jamming games with this list, and I have not lost a game that I have not gone, okay, here's why I lost, and the things that I could have done better, rather than I lost because this deck isn't good.
Yeah.
It's
I think this leader is probably the reason why we had Force Throw banned as well. Can you imagine having this with all the Discord mechanics on red?
Oh my god.
Are you running Pillage in your Sabe deck?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't need to.
Well, I think that's the correct answer. I don't think the answer should be for you to run Pillage personally, but
yeah, because then you're using Sabe and you're attacking to base with her unit side. You're looking at their hand and then you're going, oh, I have this spot of this card in my hand for 4 cost when I'd rather drop a K2SO or the new, what is it, Kazuda, or for 1 more cost, taking a Cassian out of my row and hitting for 3 more to base. Like,
yeah. I like it. I won't lie and tell you I do like this leader. I'm probably a little bit less hyped than you are, but like I do think that there's some things here that we're gonna have to experiment with. And see, I wish they would make a better aggro villain leader because that's like I prefer to play villain. And if these sets keep getting more expensive, I might have to switch to being an only villain player.
Yeah. I mean, you know me, like I like Han 1, and so I'm jumping up for joy because Yellow Hero is good again, and just now it just got even better. So
all right. JJ, what's the next leader that we had revealed to us?
Next one here is Dryden Voss, also known as the Vision in Marvel. We got we got a green and villainy aspect here with Underworld with subtitle here, and he reads: Action, discard a card that costs 6 or more from your hand. Play a unit that costs 5 or less from your hand, paying its cost, and it gains ambush for this phase. It deploys on a 7. And it has 5 attack, 7 health with Overwhelm. And it reads: Action, discard a card from your hand, play a unit from your hand, paying its cost, it gains ambush for this phase. To tell you the truth, I had a hard time trying to think of like a really effective use for this particular leader, especially on the leader side, right? The deployed side is a little bit easier to use, right? To get the ambush on there. But it's really tough for me to justify putting in additional like 6 cost or more cards just to discard from my hand, so I can play a lesser unit just so I could gain ambush on there. There's not too many times where you're going to be using that effectively, and it also just really depends if your opponent is like going to be like space heavy and you have like a ground heavy unit. It's not really working for you as much. But his deployed side, 5/7, pretty good stat, especially with Overwhelm. Just feels like it has some uses. The only thing I could really think of that'd be really good is the super laser techs. For this, that will help you ramp up with Dryden Ball so that we can get to 7 resources faster. But beyond that, just feels like you're running through a lot of hoops just to get a one-off ambush for that unit.
yeah, I've seen a lot of people running this list, and I had a specific local of mine trying to approach me and talk to me about this list and convince me why it was good, even though I was fighting him super hard. His whole rationale was kind of Palpatine's return and how you can reanimate certain things with certain things, but I still don't think that.
Was that me?
No, that was at Gamers Wharf.
Oh, okay. I was like,
And
I don't remember being that high on Dryden. Like, I like Dryden, but I don't remember being that high on him.
No, I mean, self-milling your hand really hurts, and like shredding your own hand for the purpose of having one ambush isn't worth it. I've seen a lot of double green players, and their whole gimmick is I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to get to Endless Legion. So it doesn't matter that my hand is gone. But overall, I'm still ramping so hard with the new 5-cost double green guy that when you disclose, he ramps, and then super laser tech, and then resupply and resupply carrier, etc. You're getting to that Endless Legions a lot quicker than most people realize, and then you're able to play it. So it doesn't matter that your hand's gone because of how much ramp you have by this point. But still, I just am not sold.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like him. I will say I have not invested much time into it. I will say it does feel like I do like the you could discard a card that costs 6 or more from your hand, right? To play a unit that costs 5 or less to gain ambush. Like, I think as a control mechanism, I think it could work, right? And you're basically getting to your top end as fast as you can. But if you don't have a way to draw cards, I think that it's going to hinder you in the long run. Like, we don't have a ton of smuggle, but again, I think the idea here, right, is like for him to be able to play when he deploys, to be able to play his plot stuff, and that like can just significantly help his depleted hand. But I agree with you. I like having a bigger hand personally so that I have the ability to choose what I want to play. And like this here feels like while you get to control what your action's going to be, you are not going to be able to like have a big enough pool of choices to control your opponent as easily. I will tell you, I played against a Dryden Voss with my Deidre, my Deidre deck. And I did play against one, and like they milled themselves so fast I didn't have to use my vigilance mill. So I don't know like how this deck is supposed to work, and I think that we're gonna have to wait till the full card pool set comes out before we accurately judge him. for it.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's move on. We're gonna move on. We got some new cards. I will take the first one is Zitan Mojo is what I'm going to call him because I have no idea how to pronounce that name. What is his name, JJ?
Ziton Maj.
Zitan Maj. He's a Black Sun bully. He's a 4 red 4/5 underworld. When you take the initiative, do 2 damage to a base. I actually just think this is a very solid, all around solid card. Like, I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's like something you have to play, but like, I think if you're playing aggro or even like Cad Bane Tarkin Town, I kind of feel that this is a really good card for you. I don't know. I like it. I actually like this card quite a bit. So
it's just an all-around good card because it's a lasting effect. Like if it was just all right when you play it, deal 2 damage to a base, it'd be okay. It wouldn't be horrible. But the fact that you can do it so many times, and if you're just continuously playing on curve and then play this claim, you're already doing that too. Play something else, claim, like you're giving up swings and stuff like that to take the initiative. But if you're playing all low cost units, it doesn't matter. And then even if you then have the action economy to give up a few swings to just swing with something big, play something and claim, or just swing, claim, you're just getting so much damage in by that point. It's not even funny. It's just crazy.
Yeah, who's there's a new leader too. What is his name? He's a green leader, Yularen, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think this is really good with Yularen because Yularen is kind of like I guess, okay, fine. It's good with Leia too, except for Leia is rebel. Yularen doesn't care what you are. But I feel like this is really good with Yularen because you're going to be able to claim before. Like, even if they have to kill this guy, like, even if they kill him, they either have to spend their whole turn killing him when you play it, or like they can't use their other actions in Dirtle. They almost just have to kill him right away, which just makes their turn a million times predictable, right? So it allows you to do whatever you want, play him and force him to kill, and then you're going to always have the initiative. Or if they can't do it, then you're always getting that 2 damage because he allows you to attack with 2 units. I don't know. I really like him. I think he's a very good card, personally.
Yeah.
He's been one of the better cards, I believe, that's been spoiled for this set, which is really weird because I thought that they didn't want red to be good, and it feels like they're making red very good again.
I mean, you put this into a Hantu deck. Yeah, it's an easy add-on.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Oops. This guy's he's a 4/3 baby that I played on turn 2 that just does the extra damage to your base all the time. Sabine's gonna like this guy too.
Yep. ECL target.
All right, JJ, what is the next one, and what are the 2 droids we see? Because we haven't gotten one of those droids yet, but I'm excited because I hope we get in the set really bad. Like, I want an AP droid.
Yeah, so we got Undercover Operations, a 3 cost cunning aspect card, and it reads: ready a unit that was played this phase, it costs 3 or less, and create a spy token, and that is AP5 and chopper painted with the Imperial colors on it. Absolutely love it. This is from Star Wars Rebels, and absolutely love this card. This one is actually really good. Being able to ready a unit this phase alone is really a really powerful unit that's already wiped out a part of your board. Being able to ready them again, so that way they can attack the base again, especially if you have no units in that particular area, is super strong, because normally cards that have this particular type of ability have a limitation of you not being able to attack a base when you re-ready a unit. So already that is really good. If you're using it on a lower unit, the cost 3 or less, you create a spy token. Really good as well. I mean, you can use this with the TIE Phantoms. They are a very good candidate for this, especially since they have that high raid and you can punch in really good as a space unit. And having that spy token is a nice little bonus for that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the reason I picked this is because with the costs going down for the attack power going up with cards, this card I feel becomes a little bit more important. I will say that this is still going to be a little bit situational. In the aspect of you're going to have to afford to play a unit and then afford 3 more resources.
Yeah.
But there is some cards that allow you to cheat the resources specifically. There's a specific leader that does that too. So I actually am like, I think like this, we could talk about whether Han to yellow becomes viable all of a sudden because of something like this. Sabine yellow can play this because a lot of times they don't have a million units that they're playing in a churn. And so, for example, if Sabine has, like a Falcon that they sneak attack in, you can then play this card, right? And you just have to have 5 resources and you can get 2 swings out of that unit before it dies.
Yeah, do we think this card's better than Bravado or Keep Fighting? I mean, I feel like those two are the biggest ready a unit cards other than like K-Turn or something else that are more situational than this. But
Yeah, I say yes only because you're getting a token out of it as well. If
yeah,
you were
sure.
not getting a token, then no. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like Bravado is fine because Bravado doesn't
it's a
have
3-cost ready anything.
Yeah, because that's just already anything, but you have to have a unit that died that turn, so it's very conditional.
Yes.
Or you have to pay the extra resources, right? So I don't know. Like I think this is something that needs to go on the testing block, right? Like this is for aggro decks, this could be a good end game piece. I just think of if I could play a 2-cost unit that has 3 power, I now basically for 5 resources like Cassian, I now all of a sudden have a Cassian that can just win me games. And that's the only reason I threw this card in there is because I feel this card can help make mini Cassians once Cassian disappears. Or if you want to play villain, it helps you make villain ones, right? So I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one. Darth Tyranna.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Darth Treya or Trya, whatever.
So hey, wait, you didn't get it right either. JJ, how do you say it?
It's Treya. Yeah, Darth Treya.
Okay.
So this is a 3-cost ground unit, yellow villainy, that is the Lord of Betrayal for the subline. We have a 2/5 Force Sith that on attack, as a legendary, you may ready a non-unit leader. So we got a little story here is this card got immediately revealed and we're in a Discord and the thing how it can be an infinite combo with the Grand Inquisitor becomes revealed. And I'm very high on this, probably too high. And Tanner immediately goes, all right, well, I'll just kill the unit. A little number I have brought specifically for this stream is I have played over 50 games with the Grand Inquisitor, and I have won 23, I believe it is. It's either 23 or 22 with that combo of just the Tragedy of Plagueis plus this just cannot die, and you just continuously ready with Grand Inquisitor.
I played 10 games against Grand Inquisitor and have won every one of them where they try to get this combo off and it never works. So I like what you're doing is the problem you have is that you're taking this like weird statistical number and then what you're doing is kind of manipulating what I said you will never get this off in any sort of real competitive play, even I don't think in a store showdown. Like I think if I see somebody playing this in a store showdown after game 1, I'm immediately walking over and saying, hey, if you haven't figured out this is a bullshit card and this is a bullshit combo and all you got to do is kill that unit and we're done with it.
The deck is still good aside from that, though. This just gives it a little extra win con.
I don't think it is, but I mean, I think the Grand Inquisitor is a fine deck, but I don't think very few people are going to be able to navigate a Grand Inquisitor Petranaki arena and actually get this combo off. And I don't think that it's going to work in a control meta ever. But
Petranaki arena, what are you talking about?
Isn't that the yellow base that they're using?
No.
Are you playing this? Are you playing this in blue?
Yes, because then you're able to play. You have a combo off by 6.
Even worse. I'm just saying is like the reason I don't like this card is not a bad card. Like I don't actually think this is a bad card. I don't think that combo is worth any value in any way, shape, or form, and it will never win a tournament with that combo ever. Like it's not going to. You would have to have a million other things in that deck, and you would have to have everything aligned in a perfect balanced world. Like
search your feelings.
You paid 4. Turn 3. Okay, let's walk through this.
He literally wants you to search your feeling.
Hold on. So, okay, what's your turn 1 play? Let's just go through that. Let's just see. What's your turn 1 play?
Pursuer, or 2 of the Hybulon Enforcers.
Okay, what's your turn 2 play?
Power of the Dark Side.
Okay, well, all right. What's your turn 3 play? Like,
It's already good to him. Your turn 3 play is it's either Search Your Feelings or Sonara-san.
okay, I play Takedown. You play Search Your Feelings. I kill one of your other units. Go. Let's move on to the next one. What's your next one?
Darth Treya.
I play Vanquish or Takedown. What are you gonna do now?
I claim, and then if I don't have any of those, then I have other cards that I'm drawing. You're acting like if this one card dies, my whole deck just falls apart from there.
No, what I'm telling you is that combo is worthless, and it's not like what I'm saying is that there is so many answers to this. If anybody knows what that combo is, how about this? If people go out of their way and use it, like if I walk into a Search Showdown and see somebody doing this, like they immediately lose credibility in a competitive environment to some extent.
Why?
Because like that's such a dick thing to do to somebody like doesn't know how to play the game. I guess in if it's outside of a Store Showdown, then if somebody lets that happen to them, then so be it. Because you're in a competitive environment. But in like a casual environment, I think this is a dick thing.
Sure, if someone brought this to locals and just tried to dominate locals with this, I'd be like, good for you. Like, okay, I'm glad you needed this in your life. However, if this does work and it post rotation, or I guess no, GI rotates post rotation, but still, like there's so many different things that can make this work, and it can be fine, and it's a whatever combo. It's not, oh my god, you have these cards in your deck and you just win.
I don't think you ever really win. Like, I just think that you win against people that don't understand how to play against that.
No, I've played against several. I've actually played against a few KTOD members and a few whatever. And sure, I've lost most of the ones against KTOD members, but I've played against a bunch of other podcasters and a few other streamers, and I've won a few of those too. Because if you don't draw the specific out you need, or keep that card for that out, and I fake you out and I don't have Tragedy of Plagueis, and I'm just able to keep going on and still swinging at your base by this point, then you kind of just lose because you're trying to play your entire game around, I'm going to hold the one card I need to kill this card, and then you're just waiting from then on.
I just think there's more than one card that can kill that card. Like,
all right, you're insulated so it doesn't power. You're spending 6 on a Rival's Fall, and I'm jumping for joy because then everything else.
So if we go, let's go back. We'll go back to your turn 1 play. You play 2 units. And then you said turn 2, you're going to play power. So against me, that does nothing.
Yeah, if I'm playing against you, I'm not playing the power. I'm playing more units, and I'm just trying to flood the board as wide as I can by this point.
Yes. And I mean, because this thing, like against Talzin, this thing dies to a open fire and a Talzin ping. So I understand your logic, but I'm telling, my point is this is a worthless combo to even pursue because it's not going to actually win you anything. Like, is it a neat niche little combo? Sure, whatever. Like, whoop-de-doo. So was the Trench. The Trench has a unique cycling ability where you could actually get, it's kind of like the Anakin like thing where Anakin plays his ship or whatever, and it like recycles Tranquility, and it's like a loop. Trench has a loop that we were going to cover on the show until Alex made fun of me. And then I looked into it and I was like, all right, well, the point of that combo to get this off is like 1 in 8 million. It's just doesn't really work. It's the same as this. Like, if the conditions are right, but you have a way that you can infinitely loop Trench and like Sam Hill, and you could just infinitely loop these things to do damage to base in the same way. If you have the right set of cards and nobody takes care of your combo. But
yeah. I mean, this card has so many other uses other than just that combo. Like, it is just an insanely good card. Like, I play the Flippy Palp, and that's the Palp that I'm trying to bring into the next set. Do you know how useful it is to be able to play out whatever cards you want, whether they're hero or villainy, and then just be able to keep rotating back and forth and creating the Clone Trooper token on the same time that you're healing, on the same time you're doing damage and drawing a card, all in one phase to then do it again the next one? It is so good. But
yeah, and so that has more viability than the other combo. Like, I don't think she's a horrible legend. I don't think she's that great of a legendary, but I don't think she's that horrible of a legendary. I think in Thrawn Yellow, she becomes actually pretty good. Like, being able to like actually use my Thrawn multiple times, 3 times on flip. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, so like, I feel there's better uses for her than Grand Inquisitor, but I don't think she's an awful card. I don't think she's like super insanely, oh my god, like this is great. I think she's better than Grievous, right? Like when we got the Grievous legendary, like she's a lot better than the Grievous legendary. And she's a lot better than some of the other legendaries, but I don't think that one specific infinite loop combo. I think she's just going to be better in decks that have the ability to utilize other weird type triggers. I mean, it would be cool if she was neutral because you could just run her in Sabe, right? Like, and can you imagine being able to get Sabe off twice in a turn? Like, that would be really good. Thank God she's not neutral.
I might try that out of Aspect and put it in blue with the Anakin so I can trigger Anakin. That actually sounds really gnarly, and I now kind of want to do that.
Yeah. But so that all I'm saying is, like, I just think that she has other uses that make this card good. I don't think this card is trash by any means. I do think that combo is trash, and it's not worth anybody ever, like, it's the, well, like, if I, like, as much as you hate the Trench Colossus deck I run, like, there's answers to that deck, you know, and that's the same thing. If you know how to beat that deck, you beat it. But that deck is going to have more wins traditionally over the long run than that weird little combo is going to have.
Sure, an entire deck is going to have more wins than one combo is. Like, yeah.
So that's why that, like, again, like, that it's just pointless. Like, why even try to get it up? All right, let's move on to our next one. We have Darth Scion. I have no idea where he's from.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be some from High Republic or something.
Nope, he's not. It's a Legends card because it has a gold trim on it. I have no idea where he's from though. He carries his
Sith
like
War Coder 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Okay. So he's a 5-cost blue villain, 5/5 Force Sith unit. When play, give an experience token to this unit for each enemy unit that was defeated this phase. When defeated, if this unit had 7 or more power, return him to his owner's hand. I actually think this is a really good card. Because basically you could play, if you've defeated a couple of units, you could play him and he has the 2 power, and then he goes back into your hand. And I think any card that you could just pick back up that's really without having to pay anything, like, I just think it's really good. Now, I will tell you, there is cards that give negative effects out there, and I do wonder, like, if those become a thing, you know, like more of a thing for people to run just so that you can't cycle this guy back to your hand. But I think cycling this guy back to your hand is really good.
Yeah, like for me, the first thing I thought is putting him in a Thrawn deck, especially if you have like things like Val, for instance, and Krennic. Krennic, you're paying 1 less for him, so he deploys on the 4. If somebody takes out a Val, you can choose the order, especially if you're the one who causes Val to die, you can choose the order how you want to give out the bounty and the when defeated ability, so you can give Darth Scion 2 experience from that. This is not including already what he already gains from the when played ability. So you already have a cheap unit at 4 with Krennic and Val that you can all of a sudden start laying into the base or into other enemy units. And since he already has that 7 power, it goes back into your hand and do it again. So definitely something I would include in my Thrawn deck for blue.
Do you not like him, Sam? Do you think he's not very good?
I think he's okay. I think that the when defeated is amazing, that you're able to just pick him back up again if he has however much power and he's defeated, and you're probably enabling it so he is going to have that every time. However, you're paying for him every time. The amounts of units you have on the board, if you're playing him every time you pick him back up, then again after becomes reduced because he doesn't get as much power when you have less units on the board and less to keep playing him after these units keep getting defeated. In Thrawn, you generally want your units to survive a little bit, and then you want to kill them for whatever added effect you want to get, so then you're kind of taking off more chances you have to get this guy better. So ultimately, it just comes down to Rey is a 5/5 for 5 who has an amazing ability every time you draw her, but you're never really playing her. For this, it's like you never want to play him as a 5/5 for 5 or a 5 for 6/6 because you're not able to pick him back up. And so he's good in the certain niche areas he's in. And if you're able to get those units defeated, he's great.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to find those areas.
I think he's good in Gar too, though. Like, if you think about it, in Gar, if you defeat one and put him on there, you're putting that power on him, and he immediately is a 7 power no matter what. But you're right. It's a niche situation. It's a more of a niche situation. I don't think he goes in every deck.
Yeah. You get him off more than the infinite combo. But
Yeah. Like, again, like, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Vader. You can chat all you want, but it's the same thing as the Vader with the shield. If they don't have any units to put a shield on and you can't push them in and you can just power the stupid thing, it doesn't matter. Like, when people play Vader against me and I have no units on the board to shield and I just kill it the next turn, I don't care. And that's kind of the same thing with this. Like, I think this is going to be good in a mid-range deck. In villain, I could play this with Kira and like this too. I think this like is an addition to my Kira deck. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next one. Exiled from the Force. JJ, what is this card?
Yeah, so Exile from the Force, it's a 1-cost double blue aspect. It reads, attached unit, it loses the Force trait and all abilities except for grit, and the attached unit gains grit and has a 0/0 for the attachment. Pretty niche card. I mean, sure, there are a couple of Force units that you'll probably want to remove it just so they can equip certain lightsabers and stuff. But unless you're running a double blue deck, it's pretty tough to really justify paying the aspect penalty for a double blue just to remove the Force trait from an enemy. At that point, if you're paying the aspect penalty for having the double blue, you're already in Power of the Dark Side territory range, right? So I guess there's some decks that want to take advantage of having that grit, but beyond that, not much to really do from there. Not really exciting.
Yeah, it feels like they were trying to go, okay, Force Throw is banned, like there's less uses for the Force trait, so you guys don't need it anymore. But a 1-cost, lose something that potentially has an added benefit, can give you the Force on Force bases, can do all these various things, and there are different little uses. Taking that away for grit and narrowing it into a double blue aspect too, it just feels weird. Like, I don't really see the point of this card. I don't see the niche use. I don't see any of these other things. Like, felt like they were just trying to give us more stuff to work with, but I don't know why.
Yeah. I think in like a double blue deck, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I couldn't figure out how to use the card. I mean, I do like it that I guess like you could play this in Ray and you get grit with things, right? So you could turn your moisture farmer into, if they want to damage into it, it just immediately gets like the ability to damage and kill things. But this is good on Owen if you're playing double blue and you want to put this on Owen, I guess, right? like yeah. Owen doesn't have a Force trait and then Owen gets grit, so if you don't kill it right away, I don't know. I don't see the point of this either. Personally, other than I will say, like, it is annoying to play against somebody that plays Force units that has Force Lightning, and just being able to play this to stop them from using Force Lightning would make me feel good, but I would never run this out of aspects. So. And I don't run double blue decks, so.
And you never really try and play this on an opponent, just in case you can't take care of that unit. They attack, they get grit, and they're just swinging for more. Like, I don't ever see myself putting that on an enemy unit, just giving them free grit.
Well, it is if you need to get rid of their Force, but yeah, I agree. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. This is where we need Alex. Alex does the double blue thing better than I do.
Yeah, ask him about it next week.
All right. Sam, what's the next one?
We have a 3-cost cunning event, The Wrong Ride. That is a disaster. It is a exhaust 2 enemy resources plot card that is uncommon. That is just good.
It's amazing. I love this card.
Straight up good. You flipped your leader and you exhaust 2 resources. What were you trying to do, Han, on your 7-cost with your flip? Nothing anymore. So it's just, it's beautiful. I just love that card so much.
Yeah, I like it too, because like, people are giving me crap in Vader, but it's like, well, think about it. If I flip this on my Vader turn and you can no longer overwhelming barrage me anymore, like you just confiscate me still, so I still lose to that, but I will get you for those 2 resources. So I don't know. Like, I like this card a lot. I think this is probably the best plot card we've seen, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think this is better than Hondo.
Yeah. I think this is better than that, the one that stops enemy from playing events, even though I have that in my Vader deck now. I have upgraded my Vader deck, by the way. So
I'm interested in that.
But I like this card a lot. I think it's self-explanatory. We all know Boba Fett ready and resources is good. Like, if
you mean,
I think, I think this is good. Like, it might just be a sideboard type card for when you play against that. But yeah, just being able to tell somebody else they can no longer play a cards is really good.
Yeah.
Or by the way, you have one card for your confiscate, and I flip Vader and play this, and then you no longer have that. All right, the next one we have is Vizago. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite guys. I wish he was better in X-Wing because, like, he's so fun in X-Wing, but he just doesn't do very much. And his dude is so dirty. This guy is like the dirtiest. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have like a Rebels trait too, just because of what he did in Rebels. But he is a 3-cost, 3 yellow, 3/4 underworld unit. On attack, reveal the top card of your deck. An opponent may pay 1. If they don't, you get to draw that card. Seems pretty good, actually. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna reveal it, and like they're going to not pay 1, or they're gonna pay 1, and then I don't have to draw it. I don't know. I really think this is extremely good. This is definitely one of the top cards that I've seen. He is unique though, right? So you can't have multiple of him on the board.
Yeah,
but you could clone him.
Well, why would
I mean,
you
that's an
clone a
expensive
3/4?
clone, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I like him. I guess I think he's him being underworld just makes all that underworld synergy shine.
Yes, absolutely. I would absolutely put this in a Cad Bane deck. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I mean that's just good. Like it just fits on curve. The 3 for 3/4, like that's exactly where we want to be going for not having a 3 for 3/5, and it just has a great ability. Like, keep giving me these. This is what we want.
Yeah. All right, Sam. What's the next legendary that we have? Also from Legends of our Legends card, which I'm guessing is also from KOTR.
Yes.
Is my guess.
We have the 7-cost just villainy ground unit, Darth Nihilus, Lord of Hunger. It is a 6/6 Sith, and the when played and on attack, deal 3 damage to the unit with the least remaining HP among other units. If it's a non-vehicle unit, give an experience token to this unit. So that's good. I've had this card happen to me a lot recently, and it hurts and it stings because it's usually they're only playing it when it's your unit that has the stuff, and it's usually able to kill whatever unit that is. And so it's just automatically giving an XP on attack and when played, and it's just very, very good. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we pay 8 for Palpatine, right? And he does 6 damage divided how you want it. This guy is just basically saying, I'm going to deal 3 damage to something and then give an experience token to myself. So I'm now a 7 for 7, and I killed something. I don't know. I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah, even if it doesn't defeat something, and even if it hits your unit, it's still just experiencing just because. Like, that's just good.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine being able to use this? Like, we should stop talking about Thrawn, but like, what if you played this in Thrawn, killed one of your units, like
Kill Val.
Kill Val to do the experience, and like you can also use him to kill what's the legacy run, right?
Yeah.
So like if you have legacy run out, you just play this, kill my own legacy run, and now I'm like doing all that damage, and then I'm doubling it with Thrawn. So it's like, guess what, guys? I super laser blasted early.
I mean, my favorite combo in that scenario is then throwing out Chimera the following round to trigger the when defeated ability, and oh man, yeah, so good. Love it.
I like this card actually a lot.
Yeah,
I think
good.
this is I like that it's also neutral villain, so I can play this in any villain deck I play.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. JJ, your favorite character of all times.
Yes, so we have the one and only Gollum. I'm sorry, we have Supreme Leader Snoke. Sorry, we have Kino Loy coming in as a 3-cost green aspect with 1 attack, 5 health fringe, and this reads: this unit gets 1 attack for +1 attack for each other exhausted friendly unit. So he is the person that wants to attack last after the rest of your units out there, and there does have some utility. There are a lot of low to the ground decks that you can put out a lot of units very quickly. And Kino Loy can be one of those units out there that that really excels at having a bunch of like exhausted units or a lot of friendly units that are exhausted. So he can eventually build up to become a pretty big force out there and do pretty well. It sucks that he doesn't. It takes a lot of buildup in order for him to become better. So you need to probably play him later on in later rounds in order for him to be more effective. Definitely will be more useful with ambush as well. So you can bring him in with like a timely intervention, or maybe, and this is a really big stretch, but bring him in as an ECL target after everybody else is gone as well, just to like hit something really hard. But again, a pretty decent card for what he can provide. He just gets better as you have more units out on the field that are exhausted.
You want to hear a dumb combo?
Yeah.
Sam, you're going to love this.
Oh, you know me. I love dumb combos.
You ready for
JTL
this?
Vader?
Yeah, you play this with Vader.
Yeah.
And then, oh, wait, hold on. We have a card above it, 2 rows up, called Undercover Operations, where I can ready a unit. If it costs 3 or less, I get to create a spy token. So I can afford both of those on Vader's flip turn. Plus, that card will be able to just swing in for 10 because I have all these other things. So you could go ahead and no get to me dead my Vader, and I don't care anymore because I'm just going to play this and that other card together, because it's never going to work either. But that would be a more like a plausible BS combo. But like, that's hilarious. Like, it's just why they made this guy to some extent is beyond me. Like, he's just, if you have any way to interact with this guy and you have like a lot of, like, even if you have 4 units out, right? Like, it's just a 4 or 5. I don't know. This, like, this card is just this card is just going to be the card when you see it, you kill it. That's what it's going to be. You just like, nobody's going to live or let this card live.
I'll do you one better. Admiral Akbar.
Oh man. Yeah, Akbar. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then not only are you exhausting yourself and creating the exhausted X-Wing, like you are hitting with other things to exhaust themselves, you're just creating this board of watch this guy, the shrimp, become huge.
Yeah. I personally, I don't think this is like a super awesome card. Like, I will say that, like, if you have a way, like, this is a cheap timely unit, like JJ said, or a cheap ECL unit to be able to clear something off the board that's troubling to you. But if you have a big board presence, do you need this guy? Right? Like, I don't know. Like, we play that CCS ship Invader for a reason, and this is a static +1. So I'll tell you what, like, if this sits on the board and you have like a bunch of other units out, I could just fell the dragon this stupid thing.
Isn't the same logic for that clone commando squadron that you're running as well, though, that you just said? Like, isn't that the same logic?
It is. Like, the difference is it's because it's in space, it's harder to kill. But yes, like, it is silly to play. Like, you play that card specifically so they leave all your other units alone. Because if they don't if they don't kill that card, you win the game. Like, you do not lose ever. Yep. There is never a situation where you have left, unless I have no units out, and that's the only card on the board. Other than that, if I have 3 units out, that card just, like, if you do not kill it, I win. And that's kind of like what this is going to be, except for it's on the ground. So it's just so much easier. Like, it's going to be so much easier. And I only pay 1 and I get immediately +1 for every space unit. This guy only gets it for units that are exhausted. So that's why I don't think he's as good personally. And because he's on the ground, he's easier to kill.
Yeah, and you don't see that clone commando squadron run in literally any deck except Vader too. So it's like,
well, you do, but it's all space spam decks. Yes, like you see it in space spam, but you do not see it genuinely in almost any other deck. No.
Outmaneuver your own board and ready this guy. I just thought of that and I was like, oh my god.
All right, well, there you go, Sam. That's the combo you need to get off. That's a more plausible combo than the other one. Like, that's actually for 6 resources. If he's on the other side of the board, you just win the game, right?
Yep.
You're going to Akbar, outmaneuver, and then play him, and then play the other undercover operations to ready him, and then win. That's what you're.
You don't attack with your units. You exhaust them to make other exhausted units to make this guy bigger.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is a 4-cost hero yellow 4/5 Force Jedi Republic When this unit deals combat damage to a base, discard a card from the defending player's deck for this phase. You may play that card from their discard pile, ignoring its aspect penalties. Yep, okay, that's like, I get that this is a gambling card, and I like to gamble, but I'm telling you, like, I genuinely actually think this card is really good. I think it's insanely good in Sabe, but
or Sabe or whatever.
But like, I think like genuinely a 4 or 5 unit, like I think I could put this in an Obi yellow deck, right? Or an Obi blue. He's an Obi. Well, you can't put it in Obi blue, so you can only put it in Obi yellow. But you can put this in an Obi yellow, and it's now a 5/5 for 4. It does the thing. When it deals combat damage to a base, you have to kill this thing. I just think this card is actually really good for the pure fact that you're able to discard it. Like, so if they don't kill this unit right away, you swing in, discard a card. You get to play whatever their card is. I mean, can you imagine being able to play a Luke Skywalker off their thing, or a Maul? Like, oh, I'm not running green and villain, but hey, I got a Maul, and now I get to play Maul, ambush in, and kill something of yours. Like,
I mean, let's think about this on curve. It does this. You're playing this on 4, going into 5. On 5, you snag an OB or a Craving Power. Like, that just seems ballistic.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know people are kind of down on this card. I don't know why, though. I genuinely like this card. I actually think this is a good legendary. And again, yes, like everything hinges a little bit on rotation, but still, I think this card, I don't know.
Next set, this is going to see so much play. You're going to sit down against a yellow hero player and know they have 3 of these in their deck.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You know what I love it. What deck this can go in for me? My Qui-Gon blue deck.
Oh, that sounds so good, dude. Because even if you bounce him, you still get the ability to play that card.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. I could bounce him, and for this phase, you may play that card. And if it's a unit, I'd have to go back and double check. This is where I need Alex, but I think if you double check, Qui-Gon's from your hand though, for the disc for free. So okay, you cannot use the Force to bounce him and play their unit out of their discard for free. It has to be from your hand, but you can still play their card you can still play your own thing and then play that card for free. So I could bounce him, play a Falcon, and then play
anything.
Yeah, and guess what? It doesn't say defeat it. So like, oh my god, can you imagine if you had a Chewbacca and I discarded Chewbacca, and oh, guess what? I'm now gonna bounce this guy, play my Falcon, and then play your Chewbacca. And now I've got a Falcon with a Chewbacca on it. And I'm not even running green.
It doesn't say you have to play it as a whatever. It's just play that card.
Yes. You just have to pay whatever the reason. Yep.
Oh my god, that card is the best legendary we've seen so far. Yeah. The
reason I like this is because this is high brain, like level playing. Like, I do agree, like, you're probably gonna whiff, but I'm telling you, like, we could do the math. If this card hits, like, I think, like, I always think of this, like, when we talk about like Kanan discards that card to heal 1, right? So you're healing 1 damage and you're discarding the card. You don't care about that. That's like whatever. If Kanan was like heal, like damage equal to their cost, everybody would be playing Kanan, right? And people play Ezra for a reason. He's a 3/4. He comes out on 3. When he swings, you can play the top card of your deck. Very good. If you like, I'm actually surprised more Han players are not playing Ezra still, because Ezra just helps with your hand dissemination, right? And I think next set, anyway, we can't sit here all night and talk about Obi, but I really genuinely think I agree with you. I think this is probably my favorite legendary so far that I've seen.
Turn 1 resupply, or Han 1 at least. Turn 1 resupply, turn 2 Obi, turn 3 I'm playing your Maul for turn 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
So I just think there's a lot that can go to him, but what do I know? All right, so let's move on. What's the next one? Actually, JJ, you can have the next one because you revealed Dryden. What's the next one, JJ?
Yeah. So we got the 7 cost First Light, which is Dryden ship, coming in with a green and villainy aspect with 5 attack and 7 health. Comes with Underworld vehicle and transport just in time for Rio Duran to use this in his deck. We got Ambush, and then it reads when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may draw a card, and it also has plot as well. It's pretty interesting to have this come in as a plot card, considering that the other one was a smuggle card. But pretty decent so far. I mean, it's not gonna do a ton of damage right off the bat, only having 5 attack. But being able to play this when your leader deploys can have his advantages, especially if your opponent has a decent space presence. Being able to ambush in and do some damage there can be pretty nice on there. I definitely think that this has some good effects for um, some synergy here with some of the underworld cards, specifically like Cad Bane, for instance. I mean, especially if you decide to play Cad Bane a little bit later on in your play, being able to deploy this immediately after you deploy Cad can be nice. But beyond that, it's okay.
How about this? Here's big brain play. I play Jabba the Hutt. I flip Jabba on 7 resources. Play this card from my row as a plot card and capture whatever the fuck you have on the board. I don't even have to have a unit anymore. I'm sure you're going to kill that unit and I'll cry, but super hilarious. I'm playing this in my Jabba deck. Just wait. Sam, we talked earlier, did we not, about Tanner building? We have a whole casual format where I'm going to play Jabba the Hutt, and I'm playing this damn card in my Jabba the Hutt deck. 100%.
Rares are banned.
Ah, that's right. Damn it. No.
And not to mention, this card sucks. I don't really see what you guys are on about. There's not a world in which I don't take the blue one that gives everything grit, opposed to a 5/7 ambush for 7. And see, Vader is a great card, great legendary. You're not playing him for his 5/7 ambush. You're playing him for the fact that he's going to give you these other units and ambush and have a lasting board presence. This 5/7 ambush may be drawing a card. It's okay. It's going to be amazing in Sealed Unlimited as a bomb. I don't see much else.
I mean, obviously it's designed to work with Dryden.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
But that's
true.
about it. Like, I think it works with Dryden. I also like it. Like, if we were to ever build a Dooku deck, I think this could work in a Dooku deck as well.
Sure.
But I agree. I mean, I don't know. I do like that it's a 5/7 ambush. But yes, if you are not playing plot cards, it's not going to matter. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Sam, what's the next one?
Oh my god, this is the best card I've ever seen. All right, this is a 1-cost blue event, the Eye of Aldani. It's an innate trick. And at the start of the next action phase, for each enemy unit, its controller must pay 1 or exhaust that unit. Now let me drop a bomb on you guys of playing more than one of these, and the event stacks, and you have to pay 2 for each card you control. Imagine your swarm deck. How do you think that these Wat Tambor droid or these spy tokens or these whatevers are going to do for you? You're paying 2 for that entire phase just to be able to ready them. That's no good to me dead on your board, and you have to pay to pick it up. Like that.
I love this in Control. Like, I can't wait till they fix this, because Deidre is just going to love this card. Like
yeah.
Boop. All right.
This is going to be the next DJ. I'm calling it. They're going to say this was a design flaw. I am calling it.
No, I don't.
Imagine playing this alongside with oh my goodness, what's his name? It's a yellow villainy, Java's like the right hand guy.
Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, yeah. I'm playing this for free. Oh man.
Barris Offie.
Oh yeah,
Use
Barris.
the Force. All of your opponent's units have to be paid to be ready next phase. Why? Because I want to.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think again, it's going to be it's still a little niche, right? Like, you have to be able to survive that churn for them to do that. And but I think the downside is, like, you're only paying 1 for this card, right? So, like, I think this card has a lot more uses to it. I don't know about the double stacking thing. I guess I would have to actually look at the rules to see if that works. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not.
I mean, that's how it works on Foresight. That's how it works on a bunch of other units. It's like that event applies alongside these other events. It's the same reason why why Luke and Obi wear off at like the same time. I think it is something like that. But
yeah, I think we just need to double check that. I do agree if you could stack that event again. That's probably pretty rare that you got 2 of those in your hand. And in fairness, you're burning 2 cards to like prevent them. You probably only ever actually need to play one. You're better off waiting till the next turn and playing a secondary one. That's probably because like I don't know if I care. Like, because if I have a Luke down and like a bunch of small stuff, like I'll pay the 1 for the Luke and let all the small stuff sit there and not care.
Sure, but then instead of having Fatal or being able to do things like, yes, you want to play your Crate Dragon this turn, or you want to ready the 5 units, including your leader that you have out on the board. You know what I mean? Like there's Han 2, this really hurts if you get this played against you in Han 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's some things there. I mean, like I like the fact that I could play my Jabba unit and he could pull this and play it for free.
What's up with this Jabba stuff today?
I don't know. I like Jabba. I'm in a jolly Jabba mood. How about that? So
we're gonna make a sticker out of that. Put it in the Discord. The jolly Jabba mood.
Merry Christmas.
I know it's Halloween, but I don't know. I don't know why. I really want Jabba to work. But
Christmas
anyway,
episode.
We have those.
That was Chris's signature like catchphrase for a while. Merry Christmas. That was great.
All right, let's keep going. The next one we have is called Let's Talk 9 Resources. It's a trick. It's a green only.
Play this with Jabba?
Nope. If a friendly unit left play this phase, this event costs 3 less to play. Each friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit in the same arena. I heard we had a finalizer. I also heard that we have what's the
Rule with respect.
Yeah, rule with respect, and that one's a 4 cost. So, and all they have to do is attack your base. So I don't know. Like, I don't understand why this card is in here. So.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's trash. That's not
Viv
a good
Fortuna brings it down to 5. It's still not worth it. I don't know.
Rule with respect is still only 4. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still not worth it. Yeah.
You just see an Underworld, a Cad Bane green deck from you guys. If you guys keep talking about all this, maybe a Jabba yellow. Let's see what we get.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll try. My Rancor can capture one thing. I don't know. I don't get this card. So let's move on because I don't think any of us like this card.
Yeah.
Sam, what's the next one?
We got 4 cost, Vigilance, Heroism, Ground Unit, Galener, so you'll never win. 3/5 Imperial with probably the best win played we've seen in a while. Name a card. While this unit is in play, each non-leader card an opponent owns with that name, including those not in play, loses all abilities, and it's a plot card. Okay, I'm going to deploy my leader, and now your base doesn't do anything, including ECL. Like your rare base, your force base, your whatever. You can't gain the force anymore. You don't have your epic action on your base. You can't do anything with any of these other cards that I know you're going to have. That's just disgusting. It's Regional Governor on crack because it can hit all of these other things. Like, gnarly.
Yeah, when I first read this, my first thought was, yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough words to put into this one because that definitely felt really, really strong. It would not surprise me if we get like a judge ruling to kind of bring down the power of this card.
Yes, because in its current standing, it does hit bases.
Well, is it because the base has an ability?
It's a card in play. It's just like how it's not a unit or whatever like type of card.
Well, it's not a card in play.
Card.
It's a card you own, and you own. Do you own a base? Is the question though?
Yes. That's why it says non-leader, is because if it didn't say that, you'd be able to wipe leaders too.
I don't know, but
that's why everyone's freaking out about this card, is because that is the case. So you can name ECL before they use ECL, and they either kill that.
That's been confirmed by Gandor.
Confirmed.
Gandork or another. Has Gandork confirmed that? If Gandork
I don't
says
know
yes,
if he said it, but
if
I know
he's-
that several other people, and I know at least one of them is a judge in the KTOD Discord, have said that is the case.
well, if Gandork says that, I will approve it then.
Okay,
Like I actually do
go
agree
ask.
with it. Because I think if you combine, well, I'm not gonna. I don't care that much. Because I'll just play. If that's really the case, I'll just play the card. Like
Yep,
I'll play
that's
Ray.
disgusting.
Ray Blue, double blue. Hey! We talked about double blue earlier. Now I got a reason to play Ray double blue again.
You get grit.
Get grit.
Yeah, well, think about it. Now I could blink out 2 abilities that you have. One with this guy and one for what counts with the other one. Come on,
You can't use Force Lightning and you can't use your Force Base, baby.
Yes, I'm here for it. I think this is a really good card. If that is the case and that it is not errata to avoid bases and leader. Yeah, that's silly if it could just do base. I don't know. This is definitely like regional governor. Again, you are paying 4 for it, but I think the bigger thing is that it's a plot card, right? So like when it comes, you can timing your leader unit to come out, and I don't know. He's really good though, right? Like he's a really good character in the Star Wars universe. I thought he would be a leader. Could you imagine if this was a leader ability from him?
Well, that would be way too disgusting to be able to do that more than once. So
give me a leader. Give me a leader ability like this. Ugh. Anyway, I think this is pretty good. I like that he's only a 3/5, but can you imagine being able to play Kira with him? Not Kira leader, like Kira unit with him. Like Kira unit and him work very well together.
Yes.
And you know what deck this is going in for me?
Sabe?
No. My Qui-Gon deck, because I can pick him back. I can name him, name whatever you want. I don't care. You doesn't need to be a Force unit. I got other Force units.
Yeah, but then once you pick him up,
you spend the Force.
Not the case anymore.
I know, and then I can name something else the next turn. I could just continually do that just to fuck with you.
All right. I would get pretty fucking pissed at you if you did that to me. I'm just going to say that.
I'm 100% going to. That's going to be. That's my. I'm telling you, that Qui-Gon deck is so much fun to play.
I seriously think I would scoop if you did that to me more than once.
Yep.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm editing my Qui-Gon deck and starting to test that. I think that Qui-Gon deck gets better this set. But all right, JJ, what's the next one? I know it's your favorite from your show that nobody likes but us. But
yeah, so we got Kazuda Ziono, Kaz. I'm not a spy, I swear. He coming in with 4 costs of red and heroic aspect with 2 attack and 6 health with resistance. Gets rate 2, and while you control fewer resources than an opponent, this unit gets a +2 attack as well, making him a 4/6 with a rate 2. Could be pretty good anti ramp tech, right? If you have this on there, especially with Darkseid having access to all those super laser techs and resupplies and stuff like that, just makes Kaz extra stronger. So definitely we'll have.
Why is this not a legendary?
This is the best card.
Like this is an amazing card.
A 4 cost 6/6 is broken.
Yeah, I think it will probably see a lot of sideboard action, and in some cases probably will be main deck as well.
I like in my Kaz deck, I very rarely go over 5 resources ever in my life.
Yep.
And sometimes I don't go over 4.
Yep.
Like this works like, oh my god, like this is insanely good. This is super good.
Stop at 6.
Jesus. Yeah, maybe it'll make Holdo better. I don't know. I like that. I like this card a lot, though. I think this card is really good. I don't understand why this is not like a legendary of some sort.
Yep.
I wish he also had a pilot ability with him, so I could put him on the fireball. Though that's really like I want my thematic crap. Damn it.
There's no reason that the next card we're about to talk about should be a legendary over most of the things that are uncommon that are just good that we've talked about.
All right.
It's very annoying.
All right. The next card we have is called Vigil, Securing the Future. It is a 7 cost blue hero 5/9 resistance vehicle capital ship. If damage would be dealt to another friendly unit, prevent one of that damage. That's pretty good. If damage would be dealt to this unit by another card, deal that much damage +1 instead. And it is a plot card. So I don't know why you don't like this. I think this is a pretty good card. Like, I will say, like, the one that's it should have Sentinel would be really cool if it had Sentinel on it.
I mean, it's okay for 7 cost, 5/9. For its ability, that's a good ability, sure, but I don't think that it's that amazingly good. You're increasing your stuff by 1, you're reducing your stuff by 1. Nothing that we've seen of prevent damage other than Boba Fett's armor, because it was broken with Boba Fett, has been that standout. Like,
Turret's really good.
You reduce the thing every attack. That is completely different than just don't take this damage, like unpreventable damage.
That's what this is. It's instead of 2, it's just 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this card will see play very much at all.
I mean, if I play this with Chirrut, right? Damage gets dealt to Chirrut. I get to prevent. I get to flip the force, prevent 2, and now I'm preventing 3 with this card.
Sure.
Every time, every single time, like, I can stop 3 damage into Chirrut. No questions asked.
Your 3/5 is going to live for a while
as a Sentinel.
Correct. But it's like, aren't you the guy that's like, okay, I'm just going to kill the unit? Like,
yeah, in a control
in fell range. This is in like all these other things range for its cost.
It is. You're right. All of that is 100% that. But I don't. Again, like, in a control vacuum, yes, this is not really good. But in a mid range / like in a mid range ish vacuum, I don't know if I think this is awful. I will say I don't know what hero leader comes out later, like at 7 resources though. So, like, that's the biggest issue that I have is more of that. Like, it's a little weird design in my opinion for that, but I don't know. I don't think it's like an awful card though. I think it's an okay card.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
what leader are you pairing this with? Like,
I'm not. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think there's a leader I pair. I think if I want this effect, I'm just paying the static 7 cost for this. Is what I'm doing. I will tell you, like, this would be annoying in Qui-Gon,
bro.
but that always just sound like a broken record, and like, yeah. I do think Rose likes this card, but Rose isn't super popular either. But Rose likes this card too, so I don't know.
Rose.
I don't know. Let's go on. What's the next one that we have? We have a General Grievous.
Sweet. We have a 2-cost cunning villainy ground unit, General Grievous, scuttling to safety. It is a 3/3 separatist official with hidden. When this unit is attacked, return him to his owner's hand before damage is dealt. So basically, you play this first, he can't be attacked, you swing in, and then they just keep trying to attack him, and you keep bouncing him. It's a repetitive process. He doesn't die unless you play removal on a 2-cost 3/3, which is just not worth it unless it's power. So it's like, it's good to just have and be there, but...
So I do have a question on this one here. If you give him Sentinel, your unit is forced to attack him, and then he immediately goes back into your hand and then can't attack anymore at that point, correct?
Correct. The attack then fizzles like Avenger, like when you are attacking into something and it dies.
Does this cancel out Overwhelm?
Yes, because the attack doesn't go through at all, and it just this acts as like an on attack pretty much. So that happens before combat damage, and it just lifts it.
Ah, that's so good.
Except, well, it's good except for the fact that it doesn't kill their unit, right? Like, that's the only other issue. Like, it's not taking combat damage back. So, I mean, I'll tell you, it's very good to be able to always have that unit and be able to always play it. And I like that he's an official, but like, they're not doing damage back to their unit. So it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, how about this? It's a great turn 1 play for a 2-cost 3/3. There you go. Like,
yeah.
And something like Cad Bane will like this card because it's going to give Cad Bane the ability to play that if you try to kill it, like you could just pick it back up, the next turn. You always have an extra card that you have in your hand to play. So when you play your McClunky on something else, you can then play your Grievous down and they basically just can't kill it. So
Yep.
I like it. I think it's a good card. What's the next one? I think that's our last card for tonight.
Yeah.
Or I'm calling it the last card for tonight.
Yeah. So our last card here is going to be Garindon with the 2-cost yellow and villainy aspect coming in at 1/3 with Underworld. This one reads, when played, name a card, look at an opponent's hand, and discard a card with that name from it. And it also has plot on it as well. Actually, really good card to pair with Bazine, right? You look at your opponent's hand with Bazine, you're already discarding a card, and you already have the information that you need, and then play Garindon after that, and you know which card to call, and you discard that card from their hand on top of that there. So really good control right early on. I mean, I wish I could play this with Sabe without the aspect penalty, but yeah, pretty good way to mill your opponent's hand or set up or mess up their hand from the get-go very early in the game and mess up their tempo.
You know what leader you could put this with that you don't have to pay an aspect penalty on? Thrawn 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say this works really well with Thrawn 1. You always know what's in their hand.
Yeah, this just seems like post-rotation Bazine. Like, Bazine is very impactful in pretty much every yellow villainy deck. You see that either in the main or the side, even in space decks like Vader nowadays. So this just seems like what they're trying to fill that gap with, and they need to start filling those gaps to make sure rotation isn't just
Well,
awful.
this is actually like almost better than Bazine because they don't get to draw a card.
Correct, but you have to be correct in you can't play this turn 1 because you don't know what they're going to have or what they're attempting to play, and if you're wrong, this does nothing.
Sure.
So it's like both of them have their benefits and their weaknesses. Bazine is they get to draw a card. This one is you might brick. So you never know.
But I do like that I could just name Millennium Falcon and Han, and I'm going to hit 50%. You ain't playing that Millennium Falcon this turn, baby.
Yep.
And you ain't getting another card. I don't have to Bazine the stupid thing. I just take the damn thing. I like this card actually a lot. Personally, I think this is a really, really, really good card. I think this is so good in Cad Bane too, like because it's Underworld, so I can McClunky this thing back to hand.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I can play it.
Man.
Like I could do all sorts of crazy stuff with this card. So I really like this card. But well, all right, that was enough for tonight. That was a lot longer than I intended to do. But thank you all so much for joining us. We will next week we will tentatively be back. I can't guarantee we'll be recording on Sunday night. I don't know for sure yet. I am actually helping host a online tournament for the Star Wars Dad podcast, or I don't know what he calls it yet, the Star Wars Dad YouTube channel. And they do like once every couple of months, they do like an online tournament. If you would like, you could join their Discord and actually like you could be a part of that tournament. I'm going to do commentary with another gentleman, and we're going to do some commentary on it. I think that the tournament I watched the first time I found was really, really fun. So I really, really, really wanted to be able to kind of participate in it. And I really like that guy, so I wanted to do kind of a collab, and that was the easiest way we could collab with him. So with that being said, thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.
Good night, everybody.